There you go.
Yes,
Yes. We are
sir.
live. We are live. The four sportsmen is in the building. Flea, Fabian Perspective TV, and my man Dom, who is not here, but he is here.
He
How y'all
is here.
doing tonight?
Let me make sure the camera's right. Let me make sure the camera's tight.
Yes. How y'all feeling
We
tonight?
good, man. Good. Excited.
Yeah.
It's
A lot
humid.
going on.
We were just talking about how humid it is in New York. These
Oh,
damn
man.
Knicks. We'll get into their offseason in a second.
Oh,
Yeah, we got to talk about them. And
Of
I'm
course.
representing. I got a Spreewell jersey on tonight, y'all. I got to represent for.
Nice.
Got to represent Spreewell.
Nice.
That was a good. That was a good time for us. That was a good time for us. That was a good era. That was a good era.
Big shout to Spreewell said he can't feed his family with how much money?
34 mil. He said
Big
34
shout out.
mil. Yo, OG, real quick, Fabian. AllBall. That 99 run. What was y'all doing? Do y'all remember that? Were y'all locked in for that 99 Knick run?
Hell yeah.
Locked
I was
in?
22
Okay.
years old. Listen,
Okay.
man. Listen, my man came on live last night before we get the show started, and he was like, "Yo, we used to call Starks, man. We used to have a thing where we go like this, right? Like we was in love with John Starks because remember the Knicks team in that era was reminded people of us, like they were just regular people.
Regular
None of them
folks.
was
Word.
athletic. None of them was
Word.
like highly recruited. Like these dudes was regular dudes, and they literally was on the biggest stage of their life in performing. Like
ball.
John Starks, you liable to see him in a corner store getting a chopped cheese or something. Like, so yeah, man, we was like, that's why with New York Knicks, for me, I can't speak for nobody else. That's why I'm so just crazy about the Knicks, because it's like, yo, man, we had an era where besides Patrick Ewing, like, let's be realistic. Charles Oakley, Spreewell, Starks, there's regular dudes, man.
Regular.
Like,
it was relatable. You know what I'm saying? When
bro,
we made that run, it was relatable. You was like,
you catch Spreewell and Sue's rendezvous, bro. Dolo.
chilling.
Look, real
regular.
No security.
Regular.
Word. Yeah, with them nasty spinning rims and all that.
With them spinning wings. Hey, he made a lot of money. I don't know why he said he can't feed his family. He made some dollars off of that.
Big shout to him. But Fade, man, you ready?
Oh yeah, we ready. Because Spreewell came here on a trade with the favorite John Starks, one of the New York favorites, New York Knicks fans' favorites. I wasn't a big John Starks guy. I hate to break it to you guys, but a
Huge
favorite
Starks
for
guy.
I was not. But Dame Lillard is a big problem or a big fan favorite over there in Portland and even around the league, because that's like AllBall's favorite player in the NBA. What's the reaction to the Dame Lillard trade request? Is it damn finally it's about time? Where we at with this?
Well, I mean, I go first, and I've been saying it. Yes, it's about time. I've said it, I think, a couple of days ago, or maybe a week ago. I don't know if we was on our show or live or something, when I was like, yo, I'm tired of hearing about everybody else speaking up for him. I want him to come out. And let's be realistic. He still hasn't came out and said it. Even though, he didn't deny it. But my thing is this: with any player, your skill set belongs in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Dame Lillard, the way he plays, I need to see that in the playoffs. And he's done all he could for Portland, and I think he's doing the right thing. Now, it's tricky because he may not be able to go where he wants to go. That's the only thing I don't like about today's game. These guys are literally going, I want to go here. Even if another team has a better package. So now let's just say you don't get to Miami, you go somewhere else. Are you not going to put your all? Are you going to be upset? Are you going to request another trade? So for me, this thing is kind of tricky. But I'm glad he stepped up and said something, because I think it comes a time and point in life with anything, whether it's friendship, relationships, your job, you reach that point where you can't go no more. I think Portland and Dame Lillard reached as high as they could with each other. Now, Dame Lillard, you being an OG, if you leave, now you pass the reins off to them young dudes and let them grow. So I think it's good for both. But I'm gonna tell y'all this, and I'll let Flea go. Big shout out to Woj. That's the only person I listen to when it comes to sports. I'm being honest. Trades and players and talks and all that. Miami might not have enough to get him. Portland wants back an all-star player. Of course, they're not going to get a superstar player at the caliber of Dame Lillard, but they want an all-star player, and they want picks, and they want good picks. They don't want future second-round picks. You understand what I'm saying? So Miami may not have all of that because, like Woj said, Miami never tanks. They always in the playoffs. They always solid, so they don't have a lot of good picks. Let me say this for you, and I'm going to pass it on to you. My New York Knicks, what are y'all waiting for? What are y'all waiting for? Go all in. Go get them. We got an all-star in Julius Randle. We got a button all-star that's young that people like, R.J. Barrett. We have Quickly. We have other players. We have picks. Go get them. So that's my opinion on the Dame Lillard situation. I'm happy requesting a trade. I'm happy Portland and them is being respectful about it. But I'd rather him go to my Knicks than Miami. That's just me.
I could roll with that, OG, just because you know me and you locked in, and Fabian, of course, locked in as Knicks fans, right? But as AllBallTV has to be somewhat subjective, right? We can't just be biased Knicks fans. So for me, I would love him to be in New York. But I'm hearing the same things you're hearing about Miami. They may not have enough. They may need to add a third team into this deal to make the deal go through. But my thing is, there are a couple of other packages that I've seen around the league that are enticing for Portland. One of the packages being a package that the Spurs put together with Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sohan, a couple of picks that they have over there, Vassell. Like, there's a package that they put together over there to put Dame next to Wembanyama. Now, that sounds far-fetched, right? Because the Spurs haven't been a team that's been mentioned. But if Wemby is everything that they say he is, if he's anything like Tim Duncan was first team All-NBA as a rookie. Now that's big shoes to fill. But if Dame can get next to a guy that's first team All-NBA, I mean, everything is up from there. Tim was first team All-NBA as a rookie. By his second year, he beat us and won a championship, right? So I don't know if that's a viable move for the Spurs, if they're even thinking about that. But for Dame, man, Miami is probably the best place for him in terms of basketball-wise, being able to go over there and team with Jimmy Butler, play with Bam Adebayo, and really compete against some of the upper echelon teams in the NBA. But if we try to get him over in New York, right, what does that seriously look like, OG? What does that look like? When we get him to New York, we move some pieces. What does our team look like? And are you comfortable going forward with him and Brunson or him and Barrett? We don't know what Leon Rose would jump out the window to do to get Dame Lillard. So I don't think anybody is untouchable for the Knicks if you want to go get Dame.
Yeah, I mean, real quick, Faye, before I go, I'll just respond real quick. I think there's one player that's untouchable if you go get a Dame is Brunson.
Okay.
But to be honest, you know, I'm not saying this like if I wasn't a Knicks fan, right? I would still say the best place for Dame to go is New York. And let me explain why. That skill set. Just imagine Dame Lillard in the playoffs in the Garden, round 1, 2, or 3, game 7, game winner, ball in his hands. Just imagine that. For me, it makes sense for Dame basketball-wise and business-wise. We know he's not strapped for cash, but I'm just saying, a lot of these guys worry about their brand, their legacy. His jersey, his Adidas, his brand will be out of this world in New York. So, like I said, you know, I laugh when a lot of dudes find reasons, not you, but just everybody else, even in the comments. Everybody always finds a reason for the Knicks to not get better for whatever reason. But we didn't talk about what other players, they brand, the money, the business, the legacy. My opinion, the best spot for him to go is New York. Because there's no brighter stage. There's no bigger stage. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion.
The stage would be big, but how much winning are we going to do? Like, we brought Melo in at a time where he gave Denver everything he got. He decided he wanted to get out of it. He comes to New York. We are a better team. But like you just said a little while ago, we plateaued. We plateaued at a point where we couldn't go any higher. So now we bring in Damian Lillard, who spent 11 seasons in Portland, has given them everything he got. Now we bring him over. We're going to have to gut the roster. There's going to be vital pieces going to have to be moved. Obi is not here anymore. So that's just another, you know, player that's not available that we're going to have to substitute if we really want Damian Lillard. But I don't want to get my hopes up, OG, because, you know, I just read a report that said that we're not even in the running for Lillard or Harden, which I ain't really mad at. But
I'm mad about Harden. I mean, I'm mad about Lillard. I'm definitely not mad about Harden. I want nothing to do with James Harden. Nothing at all.
I'm in agreement. I want nothing to do with James Harden whatsoever.
Nothing.
But
nothing.
I wanted to say this about Dame. Dame is getting a lot of love because Dame stayed loyal. Dame is getting a lot of love because Dame never jumped on Twitter and said, I want to get out of here. He never made any, you know, references, anything like that. He hasn't done anything that a lot of these other players have done in the past, right? He's eyes to the ground, just playing average 30 last year for a team that wasn't going nowhere. Why is he getting a pass, though, at this present moment of being silent? Like, he's not loud enough for me. Now it's said, okay, we got a trade request on the table. I don't hear enough from him. And there's plenty of outlets for you to hear from us to hear from you from. We hear from everybody. We hear from everybody all day, every day. Everybody got a podcast now. Everybody's on their Twitter. Everybody's on their Instagram Live. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of places for us to hear from you to get some clarity on what it is that you really want and what it is that could potentially happen going forward. All the Portland star players that they've had on their teams in their history have demanded trades. So you ain't the only one. Bill Walton demanded a trade. Clyde Drexler demanded a trade. So you ain't gonna be some villain because you demand a trade. Come out, speak up, say this is what I want, this is where I want to be, and let's make this happen.
Fave, your thoughts?
I don't think he has a dual leg. I already got sick of Dame Lillard's not running from the grind. Like I got sick of him already. You didn't choose your destiny. Portland is has never been a great organization. They always they're like the most cursed organization. All their star players got hurt. The number one players got hurt, injured, and they shipped them off. LaMarcus Aldridge got shipped off. He didn't stay there for too long. Greg Oden, Bill Walton, Brandon Roy. The list goes on. I got tired of Dame Lillard and because at first I was like, what is everyone up in arms about Dame? Why are they so against Dame Lillard? And I start to see the contradiction. It's like, oh, you're a rapper. You keep trying to like twist and say, how you want to look and you be liked and shit like that. I'm like, yo, Dame, I really don't care. I really don't care. Either you want to play there for the rest of your life and you do what Kevin Garnett warned all the superstars about when he stayed in Minnesota for too long and play it out and stop with the sucker. To me, that's sucker shit. If you want to leave, then leave. But as far as Zimmers goes, Flea, I ain't worried about all that. I think I like what Rockstar Mel is saying with Dame going to Philly. Like, why is we got so stuck on him going to Miami because he wants to go there, but Dame doesn't have a no trade clause, and James Harden doesn't have a no trade clause. What's stopping the guy from Daryl Morey from Philly saving his job if he wants him to be there by having Dame Lillard there? And that's probably an upgrade, in my opinion. They didn't extend Maxey yet, but it's an upgrade. And I know he doesn't like to go to Boston, and everyone keeps saying like they owe Dame Lillard whatever he wants, which is not. He already said out loud he doesn't want to go to Boston. All right, well, whatever. What if they have a better deal for you? They say Jaylen Brown straight up for Dame Lillard. Who the hell are you to stop this? You're making $60 million a year in 3 years. So to me, it's great. You know, it's lovely. Dame, I hear you. Thanks for trying to make it interesting. But I think he should go to as a fan, I want to see him on a championship contender. I want to see him those 4 or 5 teams that had a chance of winning last year. I want to see Dame there. I don't even care if it's LA at this point.
I've never seen Riley close the deal. Like, Riley's never been in a position like this before to really close the deal, aside from Shaq. And Shaq had won 3 championships already, been in 5 finals, was an all-time great by the time Miami traded for him. Now, he was a big piece of that Miami championship in 2006, but aside from that, I've never seen Riley go get a guy in a trade, right? Braun came there, Bosh came there, that's different. But he's never traded for a player of Damian Lillard's caliber. So I'm interested to see how he gets the deal done.
Where do you have Dame? Where do you have Dame? Because I thought Riley going for, was it Alonzo Mourning and Tim Hardaway? That was a big deal.
But though Zoe was a free agent. They gave him money. I'm saying a trade, just going out, trading for a big time.
You got to put together some assets, right? You got to outbid some guys.
The last time he did that was with Shaq, and they traded Lamar Odom, Caron Butler, those guys. That's the only time. So I'm just saying I would be very curious to see how Riley closes the deal with this move. Dame looks good in Philly. Next to Embiid, I think they could do exactly what Joker and Murray did this past season. But they got to get him there.
Can I say something real quick that's kind of like a little bit off the topic, but on it, pause as well, and it's still with Dame Lillard. Why do we keep, what's the word I'm looking for? Why do we keep giving organizations that already have 2 superstars more help? Philly already got Harden and Maxey. Figure it out. Miami already got Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler. People even talking about the Clippers. They got Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. So I'm just big on, why do we keep wanting to help organizations? Yeah, I could be saying biased because I'm a Knicks fan. But even if it ain't the Knicks, even with Boston, they just went to the chip. They've been in the Eastern Conference Finals how many times? They just got Porzingis. Like, then even people was like, he should go to the Lakers. They got LeBron and AD. So that's why when Brooklyn came into the play and people like, why should he go to Brooklyn? Why shouldn't he go to Brooklyn? Just imagine if you go to a team that hasn't won in a long time and you get them and be successful. Like, come on, I'm not, like I said, man, the NBA is full of BS. And it's like, they continue to help the same teams every single year.
Dame can't do what Jimmy did. No, I know that don't sound. I know that doesn't sound. It sounds kind of crazy, but he can't do what Jimmy did.
All right, let me say this. Watch this. Let me say this. When he was in Portland with CJ, even though they got swept by Golden State, they got to the Western Conference Finals, and I'm not asking them to do what Jimmy did. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, why are we so thirsty to put superstars with teams that's already loaded? I don't understand it. I will never understand it, and it gets me upset.
Y'all are the same.
Maybe because I won it with my Knicks. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know. But I'm saying, like I said, we talk about sending him to teams that already got 2 superstars that's already doing what they do. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
OG, you being slick again. And I'm gonna call, I like to call you on your slickness. You my brother, so I like to call you out when you're being slick. I listen to you and Fabian all fucking year long. Kill Bam. Bam went out there, averaged 20 and 10. Y'all killed Bam all season. Bam had a hell of a playoff run, and y'all destroyed Bam. Bam ain't this. Bam's not showing up. We need more from Bam. This brother right here, Fabian PerspecTV, was all over Bam in the Eastern Conference Finals and the finals. All over Bam. Now, Bam is enough. Bam is enough. Go get it done, Jimmy. Bam is enough, right? I'm full of shit. I can't stand it.
Listen, I agree with Flea with this one. Bam Adebayo is not a top 10 player. Dame Lillard is not a top 10 player. I don't know what Dame Lillard. He's a great scorer, but defensively, what is he? Come on now, like.
Give me hold. Give me 10 better. Give me 10 better than Dame right now.
This ain't that hard. We're not. We can't.
Go ahead and name
he's
10
nowhere
before you
near.
get the
He's not SGA right.
It doesn't have, and it has to be we can't debate it. It has to be.
Yeah, we talking about. Give us 10.
You gonna debate SGA?
Yeah,
you gonna debate?
Yes.
You gonna debate? I'm not debating that. You gonna debate Jason Tatum, Luka, Joker, Embiid, Giannis? That's what we doing with.
Keep going. That's fine.
You started with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You started with Shai.
I'm straight elbowing you. You ain't debating Shai.
Saying. He started with Shai. Like Shai was the knockout.
Darian Fox.
Hold on.
Who was up there?
What are you talking about?
I don't know about that. I don't know.
De'Aaron Fox had one good year.
They're in the same. I'm talking about right now. We ain't talking about 5 years. We ain't talking about Dame Lillard's career.
Lillard just came off averaging 30.
Hold on. First of all, hold on. Flea went for. Wait, what side are you on, Flea? I'm trying to help you out. Dame Lillard is not the guy. He's not a superstar on top of a superstar, in my opinion. Kyrie Irving could be argued. They're on the same level. Who's better, Kyrie Irving or Dame Lillard right now? Exactly.
That's a conversation.
Kevin Durant, Devin Booker. Are we going to keep going? Are you serious? Dame Lillard is not solidified top 10. Where did this come from? Where did this come from?
He's better than Devin Booker.
I want Damian
Lillard. I don't know about
that.
Team.
I want Damian Lillard on my team.
I never said I didn't.
But just like I would like the guys that you named them like they were trumping him with some shit. No, I want if I'm line them up on the baseline and Dame is gonna get picked last.
Hold on. Now watch this.
You picking him over Kyrie?
Yes. I am, and I'm gonna tell you why. Can I tell you why? Everybody you name, they have to have a stat team or a superstar next to them for them to win. Dame, that's the Go ahead.
When has Dame? Because again, you guys love this. I don't do that. Who doesn't need a team to win? What are we talking about? And Dame has had a team. He went to the Western Conference Finals. Part of the reason why they don't succeed is because he doesn't play defense. He doesn't have a good off-ball game. That's just what it is. And to say that he's better on the ball than Kyrie.
SGA and Kyrie play defense. Who really plays defense?
SGA plays way better defense than Dame Lillard.
SGA,
actually,
I would say that. I would say, let me stop you there, OG. But Kyrie's a liability on defense.
1,000%. But Kyrie's a liability. Kyrie shoots better.
Just the mere fact that he's 6'5", playing the point guard position. He's long. Like I'm gonna give him. I'm with you though, OG, because I've never seen him lock in and really take away another player's whatever another player is bringing. But in terms of who has the ability to defend well, I think SGA is a way better defender than Kyrie Irving.
He is, but and either way, we could keep going down the list. Like it's not to say he's fringe top 10 if you want to give him that, but that's not stacking the deck with Miami because neither Jimmy Butler or Bam Adebayo are top 10 if that's the case. Even if you have Dame at top 10, that's not stacking the deck.
That's the only team. That's the only team, and I agree with you there, Fabian. That's the only team that I don't think, to your point, OG, about why are we looking to help these teams that already have solid rosters. That Dame piece, because you gotta give the get, right? So it's not like if they move him over there that they're gonna go into next season with the same team. Think about this. Gabe Vincent just got money from the Lakers. Max Strus just got money from the Cavs, right? Duncan Robinson will more than likely be in the trade for Damian Lillard. So now what you coming back starting the season with Caleb Martin, what's my boy? Tyler Hero's coming back.
No, I thought Tyler Hero was in the trade.
He'd probably be in the trade. But then again, you coming back with AllBall's favorite player, Kyle Lowry. Like,
they were saying Kyle might have to be part of the trade also. But hold on. All right, so hold on. You have Dame, Butler, Bam,
Kevin Love,
and Caleb Martin.
And Caleb Martin.
Kevin Love is crazy.
Kevin Love might start next year, the way things are shaping out.
And even then, but the question AllBall's posing is, why do we want to see them like stack the deck if that's what I was going to pose it? No,
but
I want to see
stack the deck. Go ahead.
I want to see great players in a great situation and really see if you come through. That's what I said about Kevin Durant. We're going to say what you want. Yeah, he cheated, but at the end of the day, if he doesn't win in Golden State and he comes up short, we're going to be talking about him for the rest of his life like a loser. You couldn't even win with that team. Hold on, of course it's two different instances because he ain't no damn Kevin Durant, number one. And number two, all I'm saying is that same thing with Kevin Garnett going to Boston. If you have a team loaded like that and you still can't win, or you don't perform the way we're used to you seeing, the way we think you could do it under pressure, then we're gonna look against you with that. At this point in time, AllBall, you want to see Dame Lillard where?
Hold on. Let me go back. You said because he ain't no damn Kevin Durant. What you mean by that?
He ain't no damn Kevin Durant, dog. Kevin Durant is a different level. He ain't in the same category as Kevin Durant.
Dame ain't KD.
No.
What we doing here?
Listen. No. I'm asking you. He's on a different level. How?
More efficient scorer. Could do something on defense at minimum.
All right. So, because let's not forget,
he's just a flat out tougher cover than Dame.
Listen, all I'm saying is this. Let's not forget. He had to go cheat to get 2 rings. Look,
that's what I was getting at, though, Fabian, because we know how, like, even all three of us at some point during that 2016, 2017, 2018, even 2018, 2019, those 3 years, basketball was a little boring in the NBA. We kind of knew who was going to be once the dust settled. We knew Golden State was going to be there. And Cleveland was going to be there, right? For a few years in a row, we knew that. Okay. And it completely shifted the balance of power when he went over there.
But that's not my point with that. My point, all I'm saying with that is Kevin Durant had to win. If he did not win, we're talking about him. It'll be even worse because we're still shitting on him.
I promise you 10 years from now, we're not talking about Damian Lillard didn't win because, to your point, of Damian Lillard is not on the same level of a Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. He's not on that level where we're going to be talking about him.
No. Kevin Durant is not on LeBron James and Kobe Bryant's level at all.
Okay, we agree about that. We agree about that.
But this is where we can disagree. No, I'm just being real. Mm-hmm. I don't think Kevin Durant is on that level because if he doesn't go to Golden State today, 2023, he has no rings.
And how would we be talking about him?
And you know how we be talking about him? Just how we be talking about. That's what will make Dame Lillard on his level. That's why I said what I said. I think Dame Lillard is on a lot of guys' level. It's just that he don't have no rings, and a lot of these guys is jumping ship to ship to go get rings. Hold on, and then the Kevin Durant thing. I don't want to make it about Kevin Durant, but we see what it is. You jump into these super duper teams and you're not winning. So at the end of the day, if Kevin Durant didn't have those 2 rings, he would be on the same level, or they'd be on the same level as a Dame Lillard. So I don't agree with.
But that's my point about him. Like, that's with him winning in Golden State. If he doesn't win there, doesn't perform, forget even winning. If he showed up and like Steph Curry had to save the day for him, we'd be like, yo, bro, you suck that much that your man had to save you. Dame Lillard, same thing. All I want to do is see you in the best situation. When Kevin Garnett went to Boston, it was beautiful because it was Paul Pierce and Ray Allen. Like, that was I don't know if any other team has complimented each other like they did since then.
But can I ask y'all a question? Y'all opinion. Them years that KD went to Golden State, if Dame Lillard goes there, does he win a ring?
Yeah, he gets one.
Fabe, does he get a ring?
He gets one. I think at some point they'll be that good.
That's what I'm saying. The way we think of Dame is that he does perform scoring wise and all that on that level.
No. But I'm saying, do we all agree he gets a ring those years that KD went to Golden State? Will we agree on that?
I think he wins one at some point.
For argument's sake.
Yeah. All right. So now, if he gets one, what is the talk today about Damian Lillard?
It depends on how he wins again. Like, right. That's what I'm saying about the way Kevin Durant. It wasn't just that he showed up there and somebody carried him. Nah, he put that was a big ass nail in the coffin that he put in there, bro.
Yeah, I agree.
Like Finals MVP back to back. Did he have an MVP season there, or James Harden was James Harden and Westbrook?
Okay, Westbrook. Yeah, Harden and Westbrook.
So him and Curry kind of like took away each other's MVP votes. But for him to just win the way that he did, that's why I'm saying, like with Dame, whenever he goes, we're expecting to see that kind of performance, the best version of him. That's all I want to see, and see him with a team that really complements his style, not just be thrown in Miami. That's why Philly makes a lot of sense, because you got a big man there who could dish the ball off to and allow Dame Lillard to go one-on-one more. I don't know if Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo would allow him to go more one-on-one like that. Boston was going to give – that's automatic, more one-on-one in Boston. You can't just double up Jason Tatum like that or Porzingis like that. You go one-on-one with, all right, we're going to pick our poison in Miami. You can't pick your poison in Boston.
Let me ask y'all a question, though. Can we be totally upset with Dame for not being so eager to leave Portland? And hear me out for a second. Him watching the landscape of the NBA the last, let's say, 3 years, right? 5 years, we've had 5 different champions. Nobody has won back-to-back. But in the last 3 years, Milwaukee won, homegrown team. Golden State won, homegrown team. And now Denver has won, a homegrown team, meaning guys they've drafted, they've developed their players, they've made little moves throughout the time. That going to get Drew Holiday was a hell of a move by Milwaukee. The emergence of Jordan Poole was a hell of a move and grabbing Andrew Wiggins was a hell of a move for Golden State. And then obviously bringing Bruce Brown and KCP and Aaron Gordon for Denver, right? So, but the core is homegrown guys for the last 3 seasons. They won championships. Can we be really mad at Dame if he's looking at it from that perspective? Like, if they get some pieces, maybe we got a shot.
Shout out to Nick Pillow.
Shout out to Nick Pillow.
Big shout out Nick Pillow. All right. I mean, all right.
Dame to New Orleans is crazy. I'm sorry. Dame to New Orleans. That sounds
it's all right. My thing is, I commend Dame for not leaving. I commend any player. Like I said, I'm big on pause, and everybody always say let the GMs do their job. I like what Giannis did. He allowed the GMs to do their job. They filled the rosters correctly, and they got the championship. It's just messed up that maybe the GMs in Portland is not good enough. The city of Portland, guys may not want to go there, so that's not Dame's fault. But I respect how he's went about it, giving it your all, but now you have an opportunity. Like I said, I just feel I don't mind if players don't win the ring. Everybody's not going to win a ring. But I need to see
say that again, OG, because people need to hear that.
Everybody's not going to win a ring. And I'm okay with that. Let me tell you why Barkley is so legendary. Because look what he did in the playoffs. So that's my thing with Dame. What I always say, y'all never hear me say nothing about a ring. All I say is I need to see that skill set in the playoffs. I need to see that in the playoffs. I need to see you dagger in the playoffs. Because once again, everybody's not going to make it there. Everybody's not going to get the chip. Look at what these guys are doing to get a championship. Listen, my opinion may not mean anything, but it disgusts me. I'm being honest with you. Like when I watch TV and see what James Harden is doing, when I see what Kevin Durant is doing, yeah, I respect them as basketball players, but how they going about things, I don't like it. I really don't. And it's getting to the point now where it's like, yo, y'all guys found a loophole to kind of like build y'all legacies. And I'm a real basketball fan.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I got the Larry Birds and some of these guys over a lot of these guys. This is why guys like Dirk and Kevin Garnett and Dr. J and some of these guys is more revered. This is why people have these arguments against some of these other guys. Because it's like, yo, like I keep saying, with the Jimmy Butler thing, I went crazy about him. But what I always say, Fade, what if he'd have jumped shipping with the Golden State and got him 2 rings? How would we feel? What if Dame would have did this early in his career? What Kyrie and them been doing? Like, so, like I said, I just want Dame to go somewhere where his game is going to be respected. That's it. If he don't win, I'm okay with that. Just give it your all. If you could play 82, get in the playoffs, and make it a dogfight. That's all I want to see from these players. That's it.
At some point, we got to have a conversation on how great Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, that whole Golden State, they made motherfuckers do a lot of different shit. I'm hearing what you're saying. You seeing everybody jumping around doing this, doing that. it's happening, but as soon as Steph and them start elevating, people start losing their minds. Like, yo, this dude is different. We got to figure out how to combat this dude, because this dude could run off 2-3 in a row like he did, right? Got KD, but what I'm saying is that they've made what they said. LeBron won the Eastern Conference Finals that year, right? And they said, so what you thinking about how y'all, what's the matchup look like going forward? He said, I can't even think about Golden State right now. I can't even think about them, because he couldn't wrap his mind around going up against that team. And I feel like there's so many players that see that team and it's like, damn, what am I going to do to be able to get a ring? Because a lot of that comes from us too, that ring culture shit. Not saying you, AllBall, not saying you, Fabian, but there's a lot of conversations out there where we just disrespect all-time greats because they don't have hardware. 10 years from now, we're going to be talking about some of the best players in the world who don't have rings like they ain't shit, but they were really great players.
But hey, Faye, hold on, Faye, before you go. As great as Golden State was, they ran and begged for help.
They had to go. They went and got something, right?
That's all I'm going to say. Go ahead, Faye.
Yeah, but they're the most valuable franchise in the NBA. That doesn't happen without winning rings. Like, to say that LeBron and these guys, they weren't ring chasing for a reason is like, this is part of the whole conflict that we have as fans. I think that's when we start bullshitting. That's part of the reason why Barkley and them, they talk like that, because there are contracts out there. There is more money out there. Kobe Bryant is not Kobe Bryant in China if he doesn't win, if he's not with the Lakers. That's a fact. I don't know where we get all this other shit from. Like, what Jordan did in Chicago is more amazing to me, because the Chicago Bulls. They were losers before Michael Jordan. Same thing with Isaiah with the Pistons. They just weren't promoted right. I hate that happened to them. Magic with the Lakers revived them. And of course, Larry Bird, in the 80s with the Celtics. Like, that stuff means something. The fact that the Knicks are worth this much and we're losers is crazy. That's the crazy part. That's why somebody should want to come over here for the money. To say that they're just ring chasing for no reason and there's no respect. Nah, these people are switching teams for a reason. They saw what happened in the Olympics when Kobe Bryant was the most popular dude, even though whoever had just won. He won the rings or whatever, but it was always like, oh shit, that's why. Damn, why is he more popular than LeBron? LeBron is the man in the States. They love him like this. We hated Kobe Bryant. We forget about that. They hated Kobe. Then he won and he went to the Olympics and everybody changed their mind because he won rings. So LeBron going to chase rings in Miami, that's why. Because he had a Nike contract waiting for him to promote in the middle of the summer in June when he's in the championship. So the question was, though, do I respect Dame for staying? Hell yeah. In the face of all of that, where I could have made more money and been part of the Golden State Warriors dynasty and possibly taking some shine from Klay Thompson. He might be a bigger star than Klay Thompson. I don't know. But he could have done that. Hell yeah, I respect Dame Lillard for not jumping ship in the face of LeBron and every single other superstar leaving. Every single Kyrie, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, all of them switched teams. Dame Lillard said, nah, I'm good. In his own funny way. That's the part I don't respect, is the way what he's talking about. But I definitely respect Dame Lillard for staying in Portland. But that shit is tough.
There's only two guards in the history that we could think of right now, and Allen Iverson got Philly to the chip, right? But there's only two guards that were the best players on their team to win the championship: Isaiah Thomas and Steph Curry, right? So when these guards start bouncing around and start moving around,
maybe Chauncey Billups, no, in Detroit.
Maybe Chauncey, okay,
maybe.
That's fair. I would look at them as more of a team. I know Chauncey.
Right. That's why I said. That's why I said maybe. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I can roll with you. OG. But I'm just saying that's three, right? It's not a lot, is what I'm saying. And that when the guards start bouncing around and moving around, I don't think that they're held to the same standard as the polarizing guys, like I mean, OG say what he want, but like Kevin Durant, like LeBron James, like a Kobe Bryant, like a Kawhi Leonard, like a Paul George, these guys that are supposed to be the best player on a championship team, they get a lot of flack because they need to stay where their ass is at because the ball is coming to them. Take me home. A lot of these guards, it's not the situation. It's just not. Dame, I don't think is the best player on the championship team anymore.
I understand what you were saying with that, but he's still regarded with that contract, the respect, like a number one, number two option on offense.
You get a max deal from your.
But hold on,
he had enough. Real quick, AllBall.
Yeah.
But Dame had enough cachet to say, "I want out of here." That's the point.
Tyrese Halliburton just got a max deal.
Hold on, I just got a text
off of his play.
Listen, I just got a text. I ain't gonna say who it was. They said Dame might go to the Lakers, but go ahead. I'll let y'all know who it is off. They say he might go to the Lakers, which I don't listen. But hold on, you say Dame can be the best player on the championship team. If he goes to Miami, is he the best player on Miami?
He's probably the most important player.
But he's not the best player on Miami.
More important than your boy Bam?
I don't know, because, again, what Jimmy has ascended into is a hell of a player. So I know what Dame is. I know what Jimmy is. That would be tough for me. I don't know. I would have to think about that. But just flat out, who's the better player? Probably Damian Lillard's the better player. But I think he is like a missing piece for Miami to go to the next level. I don't think he'd be the best player, like head and shoulders, but I think he is that missing piece to continue to, Bam to go to the next level and to get Jimmy to that. Y'all call Jimmy a superstar all postseason. Next to Damian Lillard, he might look like a bona fide super. Like, we won't have to debate that. He might look amazing next to Jimmy Butler. Next to Dame.
I got to second that, Flea, because I think it would be a match. It would be like if you have them both on the team, if they're playing the Denver Nuggets, all right, Jimmy, you can't get this done. Bam, you can't get this done. Dame Lillard is busting their ass on the Denver Nuggets. Nobody can guard him over in Denver. There is no matchup problem with him. He's getting it done over there. Mm-hmm. I can't see anybody guard him. Aaron Gordon, get on that perimeter on Dame Lillard and see what happens. He ain't doing that. So I think it's a matter. It depends on, like, if he plays Boston, I think that's harder for Dame Lillard. But Jimmy Butler could get off on some game. That's what I mean. Like, it'll be a strategy off of Spoelstra. It's not a flat out Kevin Durant goes there in his prime. You know what I'm saying? Even Dame Lillard in his prime is different than Jimmy Butler. Dame Lillard in his prime, I don't even think that's close. He would be the best player on Miami.
Well, I mean, before we, go off to the next topic, I think if he goes to Miami, he's the best player on the team. And also, it is a match made in heaven for me for this reason. Him and Jimmy Butler is dogs.
Same psyche, OG.
Wasn't highly recruited. Dame with the number 0. Everybody knows why.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think in that mentality with a Pat Riley is a match made in heaven. So yeah. But like I said, Dame Lillard shook up the basketball world for about a day or two. And sometimes that's not good because guys like that may not want that attention. You see the attention it gets. This is why LeBron is who he is. He knows how to this shit. That
I agree
attention
with that.
Attention is a whole nother game besides the game. So Dame Lillard, sometimes this is maybe why he never wanted to come out and say he wanted to get traded for so many years, because now this is what happens. So remember, he flew under the radar.
Yeah, that's a hell of a point, though, OG. It's a hell of a point. Yeah.
Yes.
Because I always try to explain to Dom, like, say whatever you want about Allen Iverson and whoever else, they will go out at nighttime, and that's a different kind of monster you're dealing with. Because I don't care what Tim Duncan did, he couldn't go out and be Allen Iverson, bro. Allen Iverson was a rock star. You can't handle that kind of pressure, that kind of attention. He's getting, as soon as he hits the corner, everybody's going crazy. Mm-hmm. And Dame, that was such a great point, AllBall.
That's a hell of a comparison, though, Fabian. That Allen is equipped to have that type of attention and ridicule and whatever comes with it. We have no idea if Tim Duncan could even had handled that, just because of his demeanor, his personality. You know what I'm saying? Imagine him playing in San Antonio. Just imagine him playing anywhere else. Here, having to deal with, fit with what comes with failure. Tim didn't win a championship every year. You know what I'm saying? Like, at some point,
not the championship thing, but just what AllBall's point is that the self-inflicted attention. Like AI didn't have to go to the damn club. He didn't have to go out all the time. But so for Dame Lillard, he's not really that kind of a rock star. But him making that statement, he's calling upon a bunch of attention that maybe he knows himself. I ain't ready for all that, man. Like, I'm just chill right here. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's when we're trying to make like Kawhi. Why was Kawhi chasing all these teams? You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's not built for all that. Like, he's showing us there's more than one way to skin a cat. And we should be applauding that.
Before we move on real quick, Dame ends up in LA as a Laker. How do you feel about that, AllBall?
I'm disgusted.
Okay.
And I'm no. And I'm gonna tell y'all why. All jokes aside, I'm not a LeBron hater. I'm just not a LeBron lover. Right. And I think you have to have people out there. Like, I'm not a Skip Bayless. I'm not one of them dudes. I don't have nothing against LeBron at all. I want to see all these guys succeed. I just want to see it done right. Like, I'm tired of, like, just imagine having 3 superstars on one team. Like, that's ridiculous to me. I'm just being honest with y'all. You can't do that and then on the other hand call yourself the greatest. I'm sorry. Like, I can be wrong. I don't mind being wrong. This is why I don't want to see him go to the Lakers or to the Clippers or to Boston. Like, what are we teaching if you have Tatum? Let's just say Brown don't get traded. Oh, no, Brown get traded. You got Tatum, Dame, and Porzingis. You got Dame, LeBron, and AD. What? Like, I like, even with the KD Phoenix thing. Yeah, we can make fun and joke all about it, but it's like, how great are you? Listen, man, some of them guys back in the days, I'll tell you, I don't want that help. I want to go against them. Magic and Bird and Mike and them guys said that about one another. I'm not going over there. I want to compete against them because I know at the end of the day, if I succeed against this guy, look, I'm out of here.
The talent
I'll be spoken about for the rest of my life. I'm just saying, Flea, at the end of the day, it's good for LA business-wise. But for me, a fan of the game, I don't like it. You have enough help, go get it done. Simple and plain.
It's just struck something. I know we got to move on, but it struck something in me real fast, what you said about just mentioning Magic, just mentioning Bird, right? During those times, we always talk about how today's game, and I don't think we could debate this. Basketball is really, really talented, way more talented than it was back then in terms of players. Like, everybody is really good. Back then, there's some guys that just wasn't good, just flat out. They just wasn't good. And what I'm saying is that Magic being in that position to make that statement, he's only able to make that statement because he could look left and see James Worthy. He could look right and see Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and then he could look.
I disagree, Flea.
Hold on, let me finish. I got you. And then he could look left and see Byron. Same thing with Bird. He has a team where Dennis Johnson is coming from winning a championship with the Seattle Supersonics. Robert Parrish was already a great player before he came over to Boston. And then they draft Kevin McHale, who was, I think, consensus National Player of the Year at Minnesota when he was in college. So all I'm saying is that, and then you look at those Philly teams. Philly, Dr. J, Moses Malone, Bobby Jones, Andrew Toney, Maurice Cheeks. Like, those are all those names I just named. Those are really, really good players, if not Hall of Fame guys. All I'm saying is that those 3 teams right there are the 3 teams that won NBA championships in the 80s, and then Detroit. After that, there ain't a lot of talent across the league. So they gonna stay on them teams because, 1, they have really good teams, and 2, where the fuck else you gonna go to be able to compete at a high level?
I'm gonna let you go, OG. Yeah, let me just ask y'all a question, just real quick. You don't think Charles Barkley, if he wanted to, could have got traded to Chicago to play with Mike if he wanted to?
No,
he tried.
He tried to go to the Bulls.
I don't think that era would have allowed that. I'm talking about GM's ownership. Go ahead.
I have a video. I posted it up. That Barkley is the original ring chaser. He tried to go to Portland after they won a championship. He tried to go to the Bulls after they won a championship. 96.
All right. I didn't
He's
know
horrible.
That.
He should never talk. You know what I'm saying? Charles Barkley is the worst example.
Okay. Okay, I didn't know that.
I mean, but there's a lot to that though, because Jordan was in '96. Jordan was going to come to New York if they didn't throw the bag at him in Chicago.
Yeah, but my thing is, just today is too much. Like, I understand what y'all saying, but today is just it's no hiding it. It's too much. I'm sorry. I could be wrong about what I just said. I don't mind that, but for today, nobody could sell me on. It's too much. It's too much. I'm sorry. Like, to even have the notion of when LeBron went to LA and actually everybody knows he tried to call Kawhi Leonard. Yeah. And you already have Anthony Davis. Like, it's too much.
That is
to try to recruit Dame, bro. It's too much. I'm sorry. It's too much for me.
Would y'all have loved Patrick Ewing the way we love Patrick Ewing? Would y'all have loved Patrick Ewing if in '91 he took that deal in Golden State and joined Run TMC? Would y'all have loved? Would still be in love for Patrick Ewing the way we love him right now? Would we love him the same if he left
New York
and went to Golden State to team up with Tim Mullen and Mitch Richmond? I'm just asking. We can move on. We can move on.
But I think that it would be no way. Part of the Patrick Ewing love comes from New York City, and New York City would have flipped on him. I'm
just bringing that up because that was on the table.
I think to wrap up what you guys were talking about, I think you're both right, because the climate for what Magic was saying that and was like, oh, it's easy for you to say Magic, easy for you to say Bird, easy for you to say Mike in '92. I can see Michael Jordan be said in '86. Come on now, like, it's easy for you to say that. Or in this era, I would have been never teamed up with nobody. Okay, but if you're Magic Johnson playing in Portland and you're not getting the help that you deserve, you're not getting the complimentary pieces. Think about that for a second. Like, come on now. It's easier to say when I got Kareem and these guys that I wouldn't trade teams. Like, it's totally different circumstances.
Let me give a good example that we could just shift right over to James Harden. This is why Chris Webber is revered, and some people have him top 10. Some may say top 5 power forward all time for what he did in Sacramento, staying down and just missing, but every year kept fighting, kept battling. He could have said, I want to go to LA or go to wherever he think he could have won a chip. I'm just saying. Like I said, I don't know if it's good or bad for someone's career, but I'm saying when we talk about power forwards, Chris Webber doesn't get disrespected, and some people have him up there. And
Chris Webber could have re-signed with Golden State after 1 year of them drafting him. He decided not to. He went to Washington. He plays with his teammate Juwan Howard, Rod Strickland, George Marason. They had a hell of a team. Rasheed Wallace was on one of those teams.
Yes,
Chris asked for a trade out. They traded him for Mitch Richmond. He goes over to Sacramento. Now it's loyalty?
No. I'm saying
now it's loyalty?
Yes, but I'm saying in Sacramento. Listen, whatever he did before, I'm just saying in Sacramento, at the height of his career, in his prime, this is when I know he was getting all the other years, but I'm saying in Sacramento, they legit couldn't get over the hump.
Yeah, they couldn't.
That was legit. He could have got traded to the Lakers. That's what these players are doing today. Hear what I'm saying, y'all? We could go. I'm saying back then it might have happened 2-3 times. Okay. Today, half of the league is doing it. That's the difference. That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
That's all I'm saying.
I agree there. I definitely agree there.
The new CBA deal is probably going to change all that for you too. Like, they're not allowing all this to happen anymore. They're kind of sick of it. I'll go through some of the comments about Dame. I don't want to go back to them. I commend him for the loyalty. Nick Pillow commends Dame for the loyalty. Dame could have definitely left if he wanted to. Rings are so emphasized, but people who thirst after them, like KD and Bron, are highly criticized. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. Phoenix Plays Z says it's been a minute. Yeah, our bad. We back in the mix. Phoenix Plays Z. Conversation should be, how do Knicks get McHale from Brooklyn to get Villanova gang all back together? Yeah, I'm liking the culture being built. We'll talk about that in a second, though. The Heat signed Thomas Bryant. Yeah, what do you think about what's the whole thing with Thomas Bryant and Dame Lillard? Why are they connected like that? I don't know.
I don't know. Thomas Bryant went and got a ring, didn't play a lick for Denver. Got a ring with them. And
to me, that don't. Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but they were saying
that don't move nothing to me.
I don't like how the GMs aren't honoring the preferred destination though, but he's on the paper. Exactly. He didn't no trade clause. If Dame goes to LA, do they beat Denver?
I think so. They don't get swept. They swept them.
But let's not forget Denver lost Jeff Green and they lost Bruce Brown. Let's not forget that.
Yep.
So they lost they lost a vital even though I make fun, they lost a vital vet that could come off the bench and spark, and they lost probably their third best player. I know people got Michael Porter and maybe Aaron Gordon, but to me, because he's consistent and he can do multiple things. So them losing Bruce Brown and losing Jeff Green, I think that put a little chink in their armor. Now, let's see if they fill those spots. But I think Denver kind of took a little backslide a little bit, losing Bruce Brown. To me, that's a big loss.
Hey, OG, Bruce Brown led the league in bench scoring in the playoffs.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Led the league in bench scoring in the playoffs. Bruce Brown.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And he was tough. And he doesn't look scared at any given time. And he was like that with the Nets. I thought I was bugging.
Yeah. He was a dog with the Nets. Exactly. This doesn't surprise me at all that he was part of a winning culture. Like, he's a winning player. He's not like crazy talented, but he could play basketball. He's a pro. And wherever he goes, like sneaky, I know we'll get into it, but sneaky, Indiana's making some nice moves.
They are, but I want to get into that later because I know that was the question Nick Pillow just said. Who had the best offseason free agency for a draft so far? We got to hold that because I think somebody that we could spend a couple minutes on this. I don't know how much James Harden is really, how much we're interested in him. Where is he going to go to really change, how you say, spread the needle or move the needle? Where is he going to go for us to even be interested in seeing, this is a championship team? Because I really don't care if James Harden wins or not. I'm not going to lie to you. Not like Dame. Let me tell you
something. I'm definitely not spending an hour on James Harden, and I'm going to explain why. I'm over James Harden. Like, to me, and I can be wrong, and there's no disrespect to him, he don't care about the game. You can't make me think otherwise. I'm sorry. He flats out quits. He runs from the smoke. He just wants some money, man. He just want to hang out. I'm over James Harden. These guys is asking for trades like going to the store and buying $1 bag of chips, man. It's bad for the game. It's a bad example to set for the youth, even for the young men and women in high school and in college. I'm over James Harden. Like, literally, I'm over James Harden. I pray they send him somewhere where he can get his way. Like, that's why he wanted to go back to Houston. So he could just do whatever it is he want to do. James Harden ain't worrying about getting the ring. James Harden ain't worrying about winning. Stay away from my Knicks. Knicks, stay away from him. I do not want to play like that. I do not want to play like that representing my city. All due respect to him, get as much money as you can. But as far as the love of the game, listen, man, it's impossible to have anything perfect, Flea. It seems like he just wants a perfect situation, whatever that is. I'm over James Harden, man. Yeah, I'm over James Harden. I'm over James Harden, bro.
Y'all know, and y'all support me to the end. That's why I love y'all, my brothers. Y'all know I get these guys on my podcast, on my my interview podcast, and I be talking to a lot of these coaches and players that have played college basketball on a high level, right? And some of these guys, have bounced around within college. They'll start somewhere 2 years and then leave after 2 years, and then even with this COVID thing, guys have been bouncing around, getting in the transfer portal and all that kind of stuff, right? And I just never have heard anybody compare free agency in the NBA to how these guys move around in college. The only thing that I can close the gap with is that these players really lack accountability as players, man. They don't want to see anything through. There's going to be trials. There's going to be tribulations. There's going to be obstacles that you got to get over, that you're going to have to get over. You're going to have to figure out how to get along with your coach. You're going to have to figure out how to get on the floor and get more minutes. You're going to have to figure out how to become a better three-point shooter. You're going to have to figure out how to box out and become a better rebounder, right? You're going to have to figure this shit out. So if we just take it up another notch on the NBA level, Harden, you are an MVP. You are a top 75 player of all time. You are easily going to go into the Hall of Fame. You are easily one of the most influential players of your time. I don't care what we say. A lot of the kids that's growing up watching him are influenced by James Harden. And my point is that he does not get enough slack and enough smoke for how he conducts himself as a professional. Forget him as a basketball player. We know if Harden is 100% locked in and playing, he's a hell of a player. But in terms of professionalism, he lacks so much professionalism. I would never. My daughter is loving the game of basketball right now. She did a project on James Harden, right? We had to dig in and really learn about this dude, right? And we did all of that. And at the end of the project, she handed that shit in, and she came back home, Daddy, this, that. I said, baby, I would never want you to be like this dude. Never be like this dude as a professional, because he lacks professionalism. And that's what it is for me. I agree with OG. I'm done with him. Good luck wherever he goes.
Wow. I mean, who the hell is even only Bleeze? Only Bleeze gonna hold on James.
Shout out to Dave. Shout out to Dave Bleeze, man.
Shout out to Bleeze. He's the only Bleeze, man. He's the only James Harden supporter. And this is a guy, by the way. Maybe I'm a little biased. He almost made me quit watching basketball. At the same time that Golden State made it boring, like you said earlier, Flea, James Harden made me go like, yo, this is not basketball. That is not basketball.
The heart of that 35 a game, 36 a game, 33 a game for 3 years when he was down here, bro, it was almost impossible to watch this dude. Impossible. Putting up astronomical numbers, but it was just like, for purists like us that love the game of basketball, I was like, yo, all right, let me go turn on something else because I can't watch this.
And part of the reason why is because he doesn't come through. He doesn't follow through. I was talking to shout out Joe Rose. I was talking to him earlier. They changed the rules and the way they enforced the rules of Michael Jordan back in the day, right? Bill Lambie, all these guys just complain about it. But Jordan still followed through. I don't care what the rules say. I'm going to score 60 anyway. James Harden, when the hell have you scored 60 in the playoffs? You don't follow through, and they rigged the rules for you. They rigged the rules for you so much that you're allowed to go to any team you want, and you still lose. And I don't mean lose like the championship or anything like that. The way you go about your whole style is loserville. You go to the strip club afterwards. We know what you're doing. That's crazy. Even going about it that way is loser time. I would never want my homeboy. My homeboy does that, but yo, you ain't got no pride. You ain't got no pride, bro. Like nothing. Like you supposed to be like you have a chance to be a legend. He is a legend, but like real legend, a legend that we respect like that. You lost all that respect. That's crazy. I would never want to lose that kind of respect. I would not ask for a trade from Philadelphia. This is the guy that pulled you to Philly after he seen how you played in Houston, Daryl Morey, and you still want to turn your back on him. All that. Remember, he earned a little respect from leaving Kyrie in Brooklyn, however the debacle went down. You still earned a little respect after they got traded from Brooklyn. And then you pull this? No. They should trade you for Dame. They should trade you for Dame when you go to Portland. That's what they should do.
It's just no integrity, man. These guys just lack integrity as and I don't want to talk about a man as a man, but as a man, you gotta have integrity as men. Right, yo, we gonna do this at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock my time. We gonna do this, and we gonna give the people a nice show, and we show up. We got integrity. We met. We said we gonna meet at this time. We gonna do this. This is what we standing on what we say. James Harden walks through the door and talks to these GMs and teammates and whoever, and it's like, yo, I'm here. I'm ready to rock. I'm ready to compete for a championship. And you might not see him next year. You might not see him next year. So it's like.
Listen, man, these guys, I don't know them personally. I don't know what's in their brain pulse, what their thoughts are.
Mm-hmm.
But greatness, you can't turn on and off. I always say this. This is my quote. I never heard anybody say it. Some guys want to be good. Some guys want to be great. These guys just want to be good. How great are you really? They let you travel. They let you flop. They let you initiate the contact. Now, when we changed it, was my problem also with a lot of European guys, including Luka. When they let these guys travel and let them initiate the contact and give them flip-flop calls, these guys are getting 60-point triple-doubles. Now, when they call a game fair, how it's supposed to be called, This is what happens. These guys run from all smoke.
You know those 60-point triple doubles was on us, right, OG?
Of course,
Luka got
of
us,
course.
and Harden got us
Yes,
for 60.
Of course. But like I said, man, I don't understand. You have the money. You have the resources. Go out and be great. Leave it all on the floor. This is why Kobe, God rest his soul, is revered how he is. This is why Allen Iverson is revered how he is. This is why these guys will never, ever, I don't care how many rings they win, be talked about like that. And if me, I would be bothered by that. I would be bothered by that. Nothing bothers these guys. They don't love the game, man. And I'm tired of cutting on my TV. I'm tired of getting on these platforms arguing and yelling about guys that we know don't love the game. We know don't love the game.
And I think
this guy doesn't love the game, Flea.
But I think it's totally fair to say that. I used to go back and forth with that, OG, and hear me out, Faye. Like, I used to go back and forth with, how the hell can we tell if a guy loves the game or not? Who the hell are we as fans watching the game? Who the hell are we to say that a player doesn't love the game? But I'm gonna tell you why we can say that now. After me just, thoroughly thinking about that. OG, when you go to these street ball tournaments, right? And you check players out. You grew up on street ball, Harlem, both of y'all. No rich in basketball culture out there, right?
Yes.
You go to 155th, you go to Kingdom, you go downtown Brooklyn to Tillery, you go to Gersh, you go wherever you go to catch New York City street ball, right? You could tell the niggas that love the game and you could tell the ones that don't. Strictly by just watching guys play basketball. You could look out there and tell who gives a damn about being out here and putting it all out there. And you could tell who's just out there for cardio and who's just out there getting up and down doing suicides. You can tell as a viewer, as somebody sitting on the sidelines. So can't nobody tell me if I pop my TV on and watch Ben Simmons play basketball, I'm not allowed to tell you that he don't love the game. I can say that. I'm watching him. I'm watching his body language. I'm watching his personality. I'm watching his fervor for the game, his motive. He lacks it. So what am I gonna say? He's hurt? No, he's out there. These guys don't love it. They don't. A lot of them don't. And they're too revered off of their skill set.
Good point, man. Fade. Yeah, that was great, man. Wow.
No, I don't even want to step on that, man. Get out of here with James Harden.
Sick of this dude, man.
Because he ain't so far he ain't winning the offseason to me. Who is in our who's winning the offseason for us?
I think Indiana won. Cleveland
totally
won. Cleveland won.
Great pickup for Cleveland.
You think so?
Yeah.
Cleveland re-signed Karras. They re-signed Karras and they signed Max Strus.
Yes.
They signed me. They signed my doppelganger, but I think that was a horrible signing. They should have went after DiVincenzo. They messed up.
Nah. Listen, hold on. We can't.
Well, they're shopping Garland. I don't know if y'all know that. They're shopping Garland.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. But I like Strus off the bench. Like I said, he had a bad finals. But he showed flashes to where. Remember Miami. Let me say this. That Miami run, a lot of pressure on them guys coming off the bench, man. A lot of them guys, kept hearing about as far as G leaguers and undrafted and all this and that. So them guys stepped up. So I think him in Cleveland is less pressure, more talent. I think that was a great pickup because, like I said, he come off the bench and he's a knockdown 3-point shooter. Anytime you get a knockdown shooter, you can't go wrong. But
he potentially could start for Cleveland.
But listen,
and I don't think he's a knockdown. Go ahead.
But I think he is. Let me give you my dark horse. And I said this even before they got Obi. Indiana Pacers. Indiana Pacers is slowly getting better and better. Now that's if they can stay healthy and also if Buddy Hield and Turner is going to stay there. But I like what they're doing. They got a nice young group, a nice young core. I love what they did, and I love what Boston did. Memphis, I like what Memphis did, getting Marcus Smart. I like that.
I like the Derrick Rose signing too. Not for basketball purposes, but just for if we trying to uplift this kid who's a knucklehead, let's get as many adults in the room as we can. So we're gonna bring Marcus Smart. Derrick Rose.
Let's get a guy who's really from the dirt, got it from nothing, and showing you how his story's not talked about enough. We talk about mental toughness all the time, and we don't talk about Derrick Rose. His knee is ruined, bro, and for him to come back the way that he did, he can show John Moran a thing or two, man. That is true.
And he from a city where they get it in, and he was there. So yeah. I agree with that. I'm not going to argue that. I agree with that.
But the Pacers is your dog horse. The Pacers are your dog horse. They're winning the offseason right now. How about the Lakers?
I mean, to be honest, all their the additions that they made. I mean, Prince, Reddish. I'm not. Listen, man, y'all ain't gonna sell me on them guys. Cut it out. I'm not doing that. Cut it out, man.
You are slick. Man. You are slick.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
You slick.
Yo, they be slick. Yo, they be signed. They be signed. Listen, they got the. Tell me what they did. That was Vincent was good, but once again, is Vincent that much better than Schroeder? All jokes aside, that's all I'm saying.
Right now, I don't know. That's a great question.
But that's my point. There's no knock to neither one of them. I'm just saying, then the Schroeder just as good as Vincent. So I'm saying, remember, the big addition was them being able to re-sign and keep Hachimura and Reeves.
And Reeves, right.
Right. So to me, that's the biggest thing that they did. But everybody else, they didn't sign. Like I said, they filling out the roster, but it's no difference than when LeBron was in Cleveland, that he brought in Hood and all them dudes, and everybody went crazy. And
shout out to Rodney Hood, man. Shout out to Rodney Hood.
Yeah, and no, it wasn't. I'm not saying that to knock none of them. I'm just saying.
No. Of course, OG.
I commend the Lakers for trying to fill out that roster, but as far as me thinking that if everybody goes in fully healthy, we keep forgetting about the Pelicans, Sacramento, OKC is on the come up. Denver still got the best player in the NBA. Let's say if Kawhi and Paul George stay there and is healthy, like I said, Golden State, which I'm not high on, but I'll just bring their name up because some people are still very high on them. So I'm just saying, for me, the Lakers is still not the top 3 teams in the West with the moves they made. I don't. Nah. A lot of smoky mirrors with the Lakers, man.
Who you going with, Lee?
I gotta agree with OG about Indiana. I'm always impressed with Rick Carlisle. I always think that he's a hell of a coach. And so having him over there with them young guys, I think that he'll be able to coach them up. You getting 20 and 10 from your all-star point guard, Tyrese Halliburton, I think that they're just going to continue to rise. You go get Obi, uber athletic. You're going to have, now you got a deer going up and down the court, just running. You know what I'm saying? You just get Obi out there to just do whatever you need him to do, right? And then, like I said, Halliburton, they signed Bruce Brown. Now you got championship pedigree over there. You got somebody that could get in these guys' ears. Hey, this is how we do things. This is how we want to do things. So Indiana had a real good, so far has had a real good summer. I genuinely like what Houston has done with what they had previously last season. What they ran out there, the coach that they had. I think everything they've done is setting them up to start climbing back into playoff contention, not championship contention, but going to get Udoka, I think is a hell of a coach. You draft our man Thompson. You go and get Jeff Green. You go and get Fred VanVleet. You go sign Dylan Brooks. You go get Patty Mills. Like, there's some veterans now in that locker room.
They traded Patty Mills.
They traded Patty to OKC. That's right. But again, just those key signings: VanVleet, Brooks, Jeff Green. I was hoping that Houston would throw some money at Brook Lopez, but they didn't do it. But you know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all familiar with him, but Sagoon, is the big for Houston.
Oh yeah, he's like
a baby Joker.
Yes,
like in terms of what he does. Go check him out, OG. Like he's very, very good with the basketball.
A lot of potential.
Could do everything with the basketball, and he's strong. You know, a mix of Nurkic and Joker. Like, you know, very skilled guy. So I like what Houston did. Getting some veterans in the locker room, getting them around some of the young pieces. They need some adults around Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. And Udoka is gonna have them playing hard. I can't say they're gonna win 40 games, but they'll play hard. And so I think they had a good summer. Other than that, I don't think we're done yet, but I like the subtle moves the Knicks are doing. I know it's not something that OG really I know it ain't what he wants, but staying steady, getting a guy like I don't want to turn this into like recreating that Nova roster. I know everybody's saying that you get all the Villanova guys over there. That's not good unless OG Fabian, unless Jay Wright is gonna come knock on the door and say, "Hey, I'm ready to coach y'all." That don't mean shit to me. By the way, I would love Jay Wright as our head coach. I just want to throw that out there. But unless he's coming to coach, why are we trying to get all of these, you know, guys that play together at Nova? I don't know, but
so, that's
why I got Houston.
Faye, before you go, just real quick, I'm not big on Houston like that. Just to be honest with you, just one more team that I think is flying under the radar is Milwaukee. They made 2 big re-signs, Brook Lopez,
Middleton,
and Chris Middleton. I think they coming back with vengeance. They know
they pissed off.
Right, exactly. So I think getting those 2 guys back, I think is a very big pause. But let me say this about what you just said real quick before I let Fabe go. This is my point of what I keep saying about the NBA. Everybody want to play with each other because they friends. We want to win. I don't care if you're my friend. If you ain't over here to make me a championship contender, get out of here. I'm tired of Josh Hart and Brunson playing summer camp games. I'm over all that dumb shit. Nah, I'm dead serious. Like
I know you are. I know you are.
Yeah, let's get the Villanova game back, yo, bro. Yo, man. What y'all talking about?
Hold on, but for the sake of the conversation, though, AllBall, they won a championship in Nova. Or with those guys together. I know it's different. I know.
This ain't college.
I know. I got you. I got you.
Giggles. Come on.
I was gonna say the Rockets. I was gonna ask you about the Rockets. I'm glad you answered that question. The number one, first of all, the person who's having the greatest offseason is Dylan Brooks. $80 million for 4 years is insane. He's trash.
That's chips.
He's trash. Austin Reeves.
Trash. He's not trash. I disagree.
He's not trash.
I disagree, Flea.
He talked his way out of you liking him, Fabian.
That's what he did. Well, first of all, I've never liked Dylan Brooks. I like that he's a super villain. I like that somehow this guy who's garbage gets on Steph Curry's nerves, gets on LeBron James' nerves. That is a skill.
Go ahead,
Fabian, when Ja Morant went out for them 20-plus games, he was part of the reason they won all those games. Hold on.
How?
Before whatever happened with him and LeBron, which I don't know why he got vilified for that. He talked smack, didn't back it up. That's not the first time that ever happened. You ever heard of the Kobe stopper? You ever heard of Jerry South spoken crazy? So I'm saying I don't know why he got vilified, but I'm saying
we don't even know where Ruben Patterson is. Where's Ruben Patterson?
Right. So before whatever happened with him and LeBron, he was part of a big 3.
Right.
So I mean, you have your opinion. If you think he's trash, I'm not gonna argue with that.
No, I don't. I just said
I don't think he's trash.
But he can shoot the 3. He can play defense.
He can't shoot. I'm saying I'm going about what I've seen.
Fabian,
he can't shoot.
He had a down year this year. Prior to this year, he has shot the ball well from 3 for him. Go look. Look.
Yeah. You know I'm looking this up.
Go look.
Yeah. I'm not saying
before you look, well is 35% and better.
Yes.
That's what
30. I think it's 36% now is average.
Okay.
Because we can't say guys like Eric Gordon and Pat Bev and them guys can still keep a job, and Dylan Brooks can't keep a job.
He shoots 34% for his career.
But see, hold on. hold on a second. As his FGAs and his 3-point shots attempt go up, the percentage has gone down, which happens when you're not a volume shooter. But if you look at 1, 2, 3, the first 4 seasons, he shot the ball really well from 3. The first.
Hey, Flea, I'm not gonna lie though, and Fabian gonna laugh. I damn sure when they gave him $80 million.
What are you talking about right now? What are you talking about right now? You are nuts. Why would you say, come on, man?
Take all that shit off the screen, man. I'm gonna be honest. Hey, Flea, I'm happy he got it. I ain't giving that nigga no 80, man.
Yo, that's fucking funny, yo.
Come on, man.
Shit.
He won. He won the
offseason.
offseason.
He belongs in the league, though.
But understand this. Let's just remember. Houston had to spend a lot of money. They had the most cap space in the league. They had the most money to spend. So y'all really think Fred VanVleet want to be down here? Let's be honest.
I do. Remember how much taxes he was paying in Toronto? He ain't paying none of that.
I completely understand. We don't get the state tax down here. I get it.
But hold on, and Fleet, I agree with Fade. Yeah, I can see a player wanting to play for Houston. For one, they got a great coach. For two, they got a good young core. So it's like, remember, some of these guys is going, I got my ring.
Okay.
Now, what's the ideal place I can go? Well, remember, right now, Fred VanVleet, if it ain't Green, which I'm not high on Green like everybody else is, good player.
I'm not either.
So now Fred VanVleet can really say, I got my own crew.
You go into next year. Let me ask a quick question. You go into next year, Udoka. You go into next year. Is Kevin Porter Jr. your starting point guard, or is Fred VanVleet?
VanVleet
easily. Like, it's not even close.
Because you paid him the $100 million, or because he's better than Kevin Porter Jr.
Because he's better and he has a ring. Simple. Got the experience. He's a better basketball player. Before you asking, I'm just giving you my answer.
No, I'm trying to digest it. I'm trying to understand. Hey, Faye, while we talking about this, can you pull up Kevin Porter Jr. for this season? Just for the sake of the conversation, because I don't want to talk out of turn because he played well for them this year. And
let me tell you something, Fleet. While Fabian's bringing that up, this is why I'm not big on Houston. Them young guys is real good, but a lot of them, my opinion, they think they're better than what they are. Yeah. I need to see them lock in, and I need to see them really go all in. Like I said,
them not showing up for Udoka on his press conference. This was the only kid that showed up. Kevin Porter Jr. The only kid that showed up. So this is what I'm saying. This is him past. This is him past. This past year. 19, 5 and almost 6 a game. He turns the shit over a lot.
He tough. But like I said, Fleet, if you the GM or if you the coach, you bringing in a championship caliber point guard.
Mm-hmm.
Like who's
all-star.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And who can arguably be top 10 point guard in the league today. Like, arguably, if we ain't got him top 10, he can be top 15. So I'm saying Fred VanVleet is very good, man. So I think I think Fred got to start.
Do you think any other team in the NBA this summer would have paid Fred VanVleet $100 million plus?
Yes.
If it wasn't Houston, who do you think it would have been? Just asking, just because we talking about him right now. Because for me, while you're thinking about that, OG,
if the Clippers are smart,
okay, all right.
I think the Clippers. I'm gonna tell you who else. If they smart, the 76ers.
Okay. Still paying Tobias, still paying Harden, still paying Embiid.
I understand.
Maxi's going to want some paper soon.
But let me tell you something. This is where Philly tricky. If I'm Philly, I'm training Harden. I'm getting something nice. I'm putting Maxey as my one.
It's time for them to let the leash off of him and let him
the
go.
The point guard is combo. Right, the point guard is combo guards today anyway.
Yeah, let him play.
Let's not act like you got to have a point guard today that's averaging 15 points and 11, 12 assists. These point guards, the Currys, the Kyries, the SGAs, like the John Morants, like
they're not
all
pass
combo
first.
guards.
They're not pass first.
Put Maxey as the one. Get rid of James Harden. Get something for him, and let's go about y'all business, man. Stop playing games, man.
I'm totally with that. I think Maxey. It's time for them to hand the ball to Maxey and say, "Here, you and Embiid, and we put pieces around y'all and let's work."
Hey, Fabe, let me ask y'all a question. A lot of these organizations, a lot of these owners, GMs, with the moves that's been being made lately, just my opinion, I can be wrong. Do they care about winning or do they care about the back page and the front page and headlines?
That we used to be the Knicks. A lot of teams are like that. The Jets in football, the Cowboys in football.
But I'm asking because today, and I would love your opinion on this, Fabian, and then Flea could go. Like with Philadelphia, I'm saying, what's so hard with understanding Harden is not our guy. He obviously don't want to be here. We have Maxey. We have Embiid. We have Tobias. We have a nice little crew. What's the problem?
What's the problem with what? Motivating him to stay there? Because I think...
No. Getting rid of Harden. Get whatever you got to get for him and let's go get a championship.
Because I think Daryl Morey, Bill Simmons is a real, like, him and Daryl Morey are like cousins and some shit like that. They're real tight.
Shit is ridiculous.
So
the love affair with Harden too. Go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. That remember when Daryl Morey was in Houston, Dwight Howard and James Harden landed on his lap. Pause. But his mindset of thinking is, I need two superstars. There's no guarantee that somebody else is a superstar. Remember, James Harden is the face of analytical basketball. That's why it got boring for us, because he played the analytics game. Daryl Morey is the analytical fucking leader. Yeah. So that's why it's hard for him to let go of James Harden and why they had that love affair. But I don't think he fleeced the Nets for giving him Ben Simmons. He knew what Ben Simmons was. So yeah. I don't think Philly fits your question. But a lot of these teams do that, what you're saying, because I didn't know if they had to spend that much money like Fleet said about the Rockets. That's shocking because I'm like, where did all this money come from and why are they spending it on Van Fleet? Because after I just looked up Van Fleet's numbers, I don't know if he's better than Porter right now. He's shooting 39%. You know what I mean? Like, that's up in there.
Fred had the last 2 seasons, fuck it. From the year they won the championship, the last 4 years haven't been great for Fred. Let's just keep it real. Like,
who else would fit this description of a team that just does it for the back page?
I got a perfect example.
Because Sacramento is a team that they're missing that piece, and I saw they give Sabonis the money, but their offseason, I'm waiting on them. Like, who's really out there that they can trade for? Should they go after James Harden with Fox there, like, or Dame Lillard in Sacramento will be crazy. Crazy.
No. I got the perfect example for what OG was mentioning. And like some teams just care, like the Knicks. The Knicks are going to sell out 19,000 every year, every game. It don't matter whether we good or not, right? But the team that comes to mind, right, are the Toronto Raptors. And for years, the Toronto Raptors won 50 games, just kept butts in the seats. DeMar DeRozan was an all-star. Kyle Lowry was an all-star. And they would get to the playoffs every year and eventually lose to LeBron James. But Masai Ujiri would never lose his job. There would never be any uproar about the Toronto Raptors, but they would keep butts in the seats. They would win 50 games, and they would be a part of the postseason every season. Until Masai finally said, you know what? DeMar ain't it no more. DeMar ain't it no more. Like they should say, Harden ain't it. DeMar's not it. We got an opportunity to trade him for Kawhi Leonard. Let's go do it. They do that, and what do they do the next year? You know what I'm saying? And not saying that it's going to happen like that for everybody, but they got to a point where putting butts in the seats, keeping a sold-out crowd, staying relevant, being in the postseason, winning 50 games a year, that shit didn't matter no more. Because guess what? Your ass was going to be on the line, Masai, if you did not win. So what happened? He got to make a move. So I just think that's a great example for what you were saying, OG. Like, there's teams that just sometimes just want to stay relevant, want to, keep a sold out crowd, want to be a part of the postseason, but don't really give a damn about winning.
I gotta send you something about them, Fleek. I just realized that they lost. Was it Kyle Lowry, Van Fleet? I don't say Kawhi Leonard, but they were losing all their free agents and all these key players on Toronto since their championship for nothing. For nothing. So
literally,
that's why they holding on for dear life to
Siakam
to OG and Siakam.
Yeah,
like I want if I want the Knicks to go get Siakam personally. I mean, OG personally.
He fits the team.
And he just left. OG. I want to go get OG bad.
Hey, you know who I would like to fade? Hey man, I wouldn't mind going to get my guy for about 2-3 years. What's my guy that they traded for Kawhi Leonard? DeMar DeRozan.
I'm not opposed to that. I don't think it does much for us, but I'm not opposed to it. He's a winner.
If we could get him as a 2 guard, and we can get him like for less than nothing, nah, bro. Listen, we need a big shooting guard. I don't care what nobody say. We too little. We need a big. If we get us that's why I was so high on Zach LaVine. You got a guy that's 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", that can knock down a 3. Like I said, I think these guys. If we get us a big shoot,
you heard what he said.
Well, who said?
Zach LaVine. He ain't coming here.
He don't want
no. I know that.
No, because of Dolan, because of the whole Clutch Sports thing.
Right. Yeah, because remember your man, Clutch Sports, and it was like none of his clients going to the Knicks. No, but I'm just saying, for me as a Knicks fan, I want a big shooting guard.
That's
and
tough.
Right now, I wouldn't mind DeMar DeRozan only because we probably could get him for very cheap. Like the way it's going is right now, we may could get him for let's just say Fournier, McBride, and some picks.
And AllBall. DeMar DeRozan versus Miami would have been crazy.
I'm trying to tell you.
Just to have that guy with 10 seconds left, Miami, what you got for us? This guy 6'9", whatever he is, he's launching over you. It would have been he would have been big time in New York City, and he destroyed us last year at the end of the game. We had the game winner. Yeah, that would have been. It's interesting.
OG just fired Clutch and just went with CAA. So I won't be surprised if he's a Knick before the season starts.
But Flea, here's why I'm totally with that. He's a defender. Our coach is a defensive-minded coach. I don't like them. And just another thing about the Knicks, and I gotta give them their props. The Obi Toppin thing was an emotional trade for us. Leon Rose, he got to get shots fired at him because you could have drafted Halliburton. You could have drafted Maxey. You could have drafted Bam out of Memphis.
A lot of guys.
Oh, Bam was in that draft too after
not Bam.
But I'm thinking you just talking about guys that we just missed out on.
We could have got Bam too, OG.
Just the Obi one. The Obi one is you could have gotten directly. Halliburton was the guy, but now I gotta give them their props for this because it's very tough to work for Dolan, right? I gotta give them their props for this. Our best player is who?
My opinion, Brunson. Some people may say Randall.
Is either both? I choose both of them. Are either one of them in the top 10 contracts for their position? No.
Nah.
Nobody is in top 10 in contracts in their position. Brunson, we're gonna pay $25 million. This guy in Indiana just got $50 million a year, not for nothing. We're in a great position money-wise.
Yeah.
So I had to look at both sides of that, and you gotta like the Villanova culture thing. The fact that you're building a culture to me is necessary because if you get DiVincenzo in there, the fact that you increase the odds of getting Mikal Bridges, don't tease me like that. You know how much I love Mikal Bridges, AllBall.
I love his game.
If you could now you're building a culture. It's not just about winning. At the end of the day, I want to root for you, man. Like I want to root for you. So OG Anunoby, when you got players like that that come to the guard and play hard nosed, and under a coach like that, we gotta give them their props, man. Like they're building a situation where we're not over. This is not Allen Houston. This ain't Antonio McDyess. This ain't Carmelo. And we're not overpaying anybody. Not that Carmelo Anthony was overpaid, but a lot of we're not shooting ourselves in the foot with these deals either. Yeah, it's 2 second-round draft picks for Obi. The fact that Carlisle wants him doesn't really make me feel better either. That doesn't make me feel good.
That's a unique situation though, because you can't foresee Julius Randle elevating into a 2-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA guy. You can't foresee that when you're drafting a Obi Toppin, right? I always felt like Tibbs could play Obi and Julius together. They needed to have some spells where they could play together. But he never wanted to do that, right? He's always been a guy that's tough on young players. He don't want to play his young players for whatever reason. You got to be a Jimmy Butler, Derrick Rose type of guy to get played by Tibbs. But if they played them together, everybody might feel a little differently about Obi. But getting 2 second-round draft picks for Obi, people are going to make it out to seem like it's, we got him for a Capri Sun and a bag of chips. Second-round draft picks are becoming more and more valuable, man. Joker winning a back-to-back MVPs, being a champion and all that type of stuff, finding a Draymond Green, finding a Tony Parker. Like, there's a lot of guys that come into these second-round draft picks. They're just becoming more and more valuable. Last point, older players are becoming more valuable in the NBA too, and meaning older players in the NBA. These one-and-done guys aren't it anymore. Everybody's not jumping after the one-and-done guys. If you could find a player in the second round, 41st pick, 40th pick, and add him into your roster, and he actually plays. These rookies come into the NBA not ready to play. You get a guy that's a 3-4 year guy, he coming in ready to contribute. And that's usually in the second round. So I don't think it was an awful deal, but getting 2 second-round picks for Obi ain't as bad as we may feel like.
But let me say this. Great point. But this way I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit. We don't have a great department where we know how to pick players. So we're not gonna get that diamond in the rough in the second round. We horrific at that. Now, the only reason why I agree with what you just said, it gives us more picks to throw in to get a good trade. So now we have, let's say we want to get whoever it is, now we got 2 extra picks to throw on top of just to put icing on the cake with whatever trade we want to make. So to me, it works out in that sense. I'm not going to go with we don't have the guys in place to find the Jokers and the Draymonds in the second round. We can't find those in the first round. I'm just being honest. Know what I'm saying? So,
what y'all thoughts on World Wide West? And he's not the GM, but I'm just asking. Y'all don't feel like that's a guy that's gonna continue to help us find talent?
I'll let Fabian. I give those guys props. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm not in love with those guys, pause, but I respect them. I'm gonna tell you why. The mess Phil Jackson put us in the way those guys got us out of that.
Yeah,
I gotta commend them for that. Fabian just said something.
Shout
out to the whole Knicks organization. Shout out to my guy James Bain Dolan. I'm shouting out all of them. No, because what Phil Jackson.
Is that your name, bro?
I call him Bain. That's right.
I've never heard that. Never heard that. Okay, and that's funny as hell.
Let me explain why. What Phil Jackson did to us, for us to climb out of that, and now there's some daylight. Like he said, we got guys under 125 when some of these guys are getting 40, 50 a year. We got some picks now. We got some young players that people like. So I got to give props to them dudes. Yes, I think they can get it done, Flea. I just think we're only going to be able to get it done with trades. I don't think these guys is good enough to pick those diamonds in the roughs. We haven't done it, so I don't see them doing it now. Maybe they can prove me wrong. But, I think the Obi trade, I didn't mind it. I'm just mad that we didn't get anything. But like you said, we got 2 extra picks now that we can throw in to get whatever player we need to get. Fade.
I'm not mad at what Nick Pillow just said. My fault, Fade. Go ahead.
Nick
Pillow just said some shit. I'm not mad at that.
What, Nick Christian Wood?
Off the bench. I'm not mad at it.
Is he a free agent?
I'm not jumping out the window. And he's probably looking for some paper too. I would hope the Knicks wouldn't pay him.
Christian Wood, listen, man. People was high on these guys like they was high off of Cam Reddish and these guys. Man, we don't need them dudes, man.
Yeah.
I'm not with none of that.
Well, is he a free agent?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you. I don't want Christian Wood on my team. I'd rather do what we got to do to get OG Anunoby. These guys want out of Toronto because of that money. Not that New York is the best players.
OG said, I want a bigger role, right? I want a bigger role in the offense. Like, respectfully, OG, Scotty Barnes is better than you. Like, he's just better.
But I think these are things that people say when they want out. Like, I'm just gonna say shit. Like, that's how they're starting a fight with your girl. I want to go out to the bar right now. Right. It's the same shit. Yeah. I want a bigger role in the offense. You want to get the fuck out of here, OG, and do what? What are you gonna do,
that's
OG?
My thing. It's like you're not as talented as Siakam and Scotty Barnes. Why would you want a elevated role in the offense with a new first year head coach? They got a new coach coming in there this year. It ain't Nurse again. It's a new first year head coach. So now you're gonna put that kind of pressure on him to elevate your role when Scotty is head and shoulders better than you and Pascal is a fucking all-star. Like, come on, OG. I like you. I would love for you to be a Knick, but calm down.
Yeah, but to close that out, I think the Knicks, that's the catch-22 we're involved in because nobody wants to play with James Dolan, man. Pause. This is a fact. We heard all the rumors. No, the hell it's not, Flea.
It's not, Flea. It's not, Flea.
I think that's changing.
No. I haven't heard anyone say anything different that works for the Knicks, knows about the Knicks, nothing. I haven't heard anything positive about James Dolan in my life.
He's literally the only owner that we really talk about with any negativity in the NBA, and we hardly ever see him. So my thing is, like, over the last couple of years, he's finally did what he said he was going to do with Phil.
He got out the way.
With Scott Layden. All of those guys, he said, I'm going to get out the way. He didn't get out the way. Scott Perry comes in. Leon Rose comes in. He's finally like, I don't hear from this dude, and I don't really want to.
He's still lying. He's still lying because you can tell the way MSG is operated. Like, if I was a Knicks dude, if I ran the Knicks, I would have our show on MSG and just trash us. Like, it would have to be authentic because I want the real New York to be involved in this. James Dolan would not only does he not do that, he has, like, if you talk bad about them, he will fire you.
Yeah, you're not allowed, like, they don't, you know how the media scrums happen in all of these other arenas? They don't do that shit in Madison Square Garden where they go from the game to a presser and sit down and do. You got to go to the locker room, and if you don't get him in the locker room, you're just not going to get a Knicks player. That's insane to me.
Leon Rose don't talk to the media.
Yeah,
that's insane.
That's insane. Yeah.
Nah, that's crazy. That's crazy. So that's the yin and the yang we have to actually deal with because we're Knicks fans and we're crazy to be involved in this dysfunctional relationship. Like, everything AllBall just said was true. Do we really trust them to draft? Their best acquisition, maybe in the last Knicks 25 years, has been the Jalen Brunson signing. But that's because you knew the guy, and it just so happened to work like that because he didn't have to be that dude. Boy, if that didn't work, we would be going crazy right now. But it just so happened to be better than the best case scenario. We didn't know. I don't know anybody that knew he was going to be this good. I don't know anybody that knew that.
He lucky he don't know his worth because we wouldn't have got him. He probably would have won in 200. No. Hold on. Let me say this real quick. Somebody was on. Big shout out to the guy Knicks Fan TV. I think it is.
Love CP the franchise.
Now check it. He has somebody on his platform. Guy called in, and the guy said something that was so legendary. He was like, "Yo, I'm telling y'all now, you better do what you can now and get as much as you can out of Brunson." Because think about it, after the contract is up, if he's an all-star, if he makes any all-team, you know how much money he's going to want? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying right now. We have a good core. You got to figure it out. It's guys out there that's not happy. Jaylen Brown, Paul George, DeMar. There's guys out there that you can get that in these next 2-3 years, you can be relevant, conference finals, maybe finals. You got to figure it out.
It's so wild, OG, because I feel what you're saying, right? But then you talk to a handful of Knicks fans, right, that don't want to do it because we have so much PTSD from the last 45 years, 40 years, 36 years, right? We got so much PTSD off of what this fucking team has put us through, right, that you don't want to jump out there and go get a Paul George. You don't want to jump out there and go get a Levine. I'm with you. You got to roll the dice. You got to get risky. You got to figure this thing out because staying pat and thinking that you're going to compete with the teams that got the guys. I don't give a fuck what nobody said. Embiid is a god. Giannis is a god. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
KD and them guys. You know,
Jimmy Butler and them guys.
Jimmy
Then you got Brooklyn on the rise. Atlanta still got Trae Young. So these
Trae Young. You know what I'm saying? Like
Cleveland
Boston,
is still
Jason
in the cut.
Tatum is a
Cleveland's still in the cut. Then you got Indiana on the rise. Then you got Chicago. Listen, you got Chicago if they're fully healthy, even though we're better. But this is still teams that you're going to have to compete with. It ain't going to be a walk in the park. We need walks in the park.
Yo, AllBall,
we're not that good though, OG, to have no walks in the park. And for us to elevate, I don't know if it's a home run or I don't know if we just continue to hit if we just continue to hit singles. But something's got to happen to where we add that piece. And I don't know if it's Paul George. I don't know if it's Levine, Jaylen Brown. There's guys out there, but I don't know if it's those guys. So
yo, Flea. Yo, I'm sorry. The line of the night so far is
what?
We lucky Jalen Brunson didn't know his worth.
No, his worth. That's the line of the night.
Nah, that's the line of the night because what you just said.
OG nailed it.
That was crazy. No, I've been inside. I've been dying. But what you nailed it with that. What you just said right now, we've been hitting singles. Nah, we've been getting hit by pitches and lucky to get on base, bro. Like this is horrible. We're lucky. Like this shit gotta fall on our lap because they kind of stink, man. We gotta be real about this. No way you are an agent for this much time. You know LeBron and these people. What's the beef with you and LeBron, bro? Like I don't care what you got going on. That was your client, man. D-Wade, Melo and these dudes, they were your client. You can't pull nothing, Leon. Come on now. Like all we depend on is a dude who doesn't know his worth. You able to manipulate because you hired his father. I see right through. I respect the movement.
Leon Rose is his godfather.
I respect the whole scam.
And Leon Rose, he used to be down with Joel Embiid as well, right?
With Embiid, was he one of his clients? Leon
Rose, no.
I'm not even sure.
It would have to be early. It would have to be early, Joel, because I don't know when Leon Rose came over. Shout out to Beloved though, because Beloved called that DiVincenzo move. I know it's a base hit, but Beloved said, "Yo, we probably gonna wind up signing Dante."
That's a base hit or a walk. We're like, come on, man. I'm like, come on, man, stop.
It's a guy who's going. OG, with all the guards, listen to me real fast. Let me ask you a question. With all the guards out there in the Eastern Conference that are just damn good players, like a Donovan Mitchell, like a Trae Young, Jaylen Brown, Tyrese Maxey. We talking about guys, right? Jalen Brunson can't defend those guys. We need a guy that's going to come in and defend. DiVincenzo is going to do his job. He ain't going to ask to do much else. His job.
All right, just y'all as Knicks fans. Does he make us that much better?
He doesn't move us from the fifth seed, but I think we're.
Well, I'll put it like this. All right, let me stop being a stickler. I like what we paid for. Paul, $50 million, right? That didn't sound too good. I'm sorry, YouTube. That just sounded weird to me. I like that we didn't overpay.
$50 million, right?
Right, yeah. I think it's 4 years.
4 years.
So when
I'll take that. Also, he won the ring with Golden State. Am I correct?
Sure did.
Okay, and he's going to come off the bench.
I would imagine so.
No.
Listen to me. Listen to me, OG. I've talked to some Knicks fans that want to start him over RJ. I was going to tell y'all that offline. I talked to some Knicks fans that want to start him over.
I'm sorry.
I'll be one of those.
OG is asking. He's asking.
You asking if he should start with RJ? Don't ask me that question.
No. Let me ask you a question.
See all these guys on the bench. You know how I feel about RJ.
Hold on. But why can't he start with RJ? Meaning, Brunson at the 1, him at the 2, RJ at the 3. Randall at the 4, Mitchell Robinson at the 5.
That's asking too much, man.
I would start him over Grimes for sure.
If you paid him $50 million, he has to play. He has to play 30 minutes a night.
Hold on. I ain't trying to be funny.
Okay.
And I don't want to burst y'all bubble. Why are we so high on Grimes like that you would not think about starting him over Grimes?
No, I'm
not saying that. I'm just saying that they're basically the same player. Grimes can shoot and defend just as well as DiVincenzo. Just DiVincenzo won a championship, has played with some great players. He knows how to win. That's the only thing Grimes doesn't have over him.
Hey,
But
Fabe,
I think
let me
Grimes
tell
proved that
y'all, bro. Hold on. Let me tell y'all something else. The Knicks organization, y'all better be careful what y'all doing. Let me explain why. You putting this team together. You letting the boys come back in town. The Villanova game. You may have some other guys that's a little jealous of that. Be careful with what you're doing and what you're bringing into the locker room. Just hear what I'm saying. Hear what I'm saying. I can be wrong.
That's fair.
But I know
That's
if I'm Quickly, if I'm McBride, if I'm Grimes, if I'm Harkenstein. Why those three is on the side, he giggling. You may have some other guys over there like this. Look, what is this? Is this a threat?
That's fair.
I like that. That's the reason why you got rid of Toppin. That's the reason why he wasn't. They didn't want. He wasn't. He's from Brooklyn, dog. He's from New York. He's vocalizing where he not to the media or whatever it is. He's letting it be known what you're saying. That motherfucker can't coach. Who leaked that?
I'm not sure who did.
Okay, but now would you be surprised if it was him, he himself? Who leaked that? Who recorded that? Leaked it?
I wouldn't be surprised, but Obi is a little delusional, and I brought up the fact that you cannot foresee. It's not like Randall was great in New Orleans. He was good, but we did not see the rise that he did with the Knicks.
So nobody's seen that. They'd be lying if they said they did.
Come on, OG. So when you sign him and then draft Obi, you drafted his position. We get it. But you cannot, no Knicks fan can tell me that in the first 3 years of him being here, he was going to be a 2-time All-Star and a 2-time All-NBA player. Nobody could tell me that.
No,
that's what's holding back Obi.
But I don't want to make it about Randall and Obi.
But that's what it is, though. It ain't nothing else. It's hard to play it.
Because that's Thibodeau's guy. That's Leon Rose's guy. So that's back to AllBall's point. Are you alienating certain players on the team and they're on the sideline going, yo, I ain't with all that bullshit. Obi was the first guy. He's letting it be known to IQ. This is what happens if you don't want to be part of the Costa Nostra. That's the family. They're family.
Because let me ask y'all a question. Like we all played. I never played on that level, but think about now that you see Josh Hart. I think I seen him tweet or whatever social media platform where he was like, Mikal Bridges, holla at me, bro.
Holla at me.
Yeah. I'm just saying that how sensitive these guys are today. I won't be surprised if, like I said, you got some players going, what's going on over here? Like, y'all trying to build Villanova all over again?
But see, that's the other side, AllBall. That's how the whole Knick thing started for me. I understand the Obi trade was emotional, and there's a lot to that because everyone spoke to that already. He plays the same position as Julius Randle and all that. But now the other side to it is the only thing that Leon Rose has is remaking Villanova. And if you bring in Mikal Bridges, that turns us up to another level. It just does. If you're able to do that, that's a different level. That's a different monster. I just don't believe in Thibodeau.
So hold on. Fuck the Villanova thing. Let's just talk about the players real fast. Forget the Villanova thing for a second. You bring in Mikal Bridges. You bring in Dante DiVincenzo. You already have Josh Hart, and we have Jalen Brunson, who we all feel like was necessary for us to have. We need Jalen Brunson.
Right.
So if Jalen Brunson is the head of our snake right now, if Jalen Brunson is the leader, the guy that's that took us to the playoffs this past year, right? He understands what a winning culture is. He won in college with these guys, these players, right? Now, we're not talking about like fringe guys that just made the NBA. They just got in. Nah, DiVincenzo's a first-round pick. Mikal Bridges is a first-round pick. Josh Hart might be a second-round pick, right? So we're not talking about bums. We're talking about guys that can add to winning culture. If we take the Villanova thing out of it, these are guys that you want on your ball club if you're trying to win. That's why Golden State went and got DiVincenzo. He won or he looked good in Milwaukee, right? So we go get him. Josh Hart is a tough-nosed player. He plays hard. He played hard in LA, Portland, New Orleans. So you go get a guy like that. Mikal Bridges, first-team all-defense for Phoenix. Now he's going to probably be the man in Brooklyn. He averaging 25 a game his first 26 games. So it's winning players if we could take out the Villanova piece. But I do understand the other side of it. It's like, well, hold on. Y'all trying to, what's up? Like,
right.
Y'all trying to bring this back? I just want y'all to know that, like, the individual players themselves are good pieces to go towards winning.
But do y'all want to, are we willing to root for that? Because that's the bottom line. Do you want to root for that? Because that's not a championship team to me, even when McCurry Bridges did.
Right. Now, hold on.
It's not.
Hold on, Fleet. But look, Faye just said what I was going to say. Mm-hmm. All the guys we naming, besides Brunson, I do think Brunson can be a point guard on a championship team. I'm not saying he could be the best player on a championship team, right? But them other guys, those guys are great if you filling out a roster for a championship contending team. Mm-hmm. Those guys ain't the guys that if that's your core going, like I said, even if we get Mikal Bridges right now, right? And let's say we got to give up Barrett quickly and somebody else and some picks. We still not competing with Boston, Milwaukee, Philly, maybe even Cleveland. So I'm just saying we have to be careful with what we're doing. That's all I'm saying, because the reason why Obi got traded, I don't care what nobody says. If you're in a super duper star, you can't talk to your coach like that. Simple and plain. I don't care who you are. You cannot tell your coach what's wrong with this nigga. He can't coach. You can't talk to him like that. I don't care what the ins and outs or what everybody's trying to say. You can't talk to your coach like that and think you're going to stay, especially if you're a player that may be 7th, 8th man in the rotation and you're very inconsistent. And he might not even be high on you as well. You can't talk to your coach like that.
Well, it didn't help. I was going to ask earlier, it didn't help that Obi doesn't defend. If he played a small ounce of defense, this probably would be a little different, right? His relationship with Tibbs would be different. I could help you become a better player offensively. I can't give you the motor that you have on the offensive end on the defensive end. Imagine how hard he ran the floor on offense to get the ball, because you only run the floor hard because you want the rock. But if he ran the floor and used the same motor he had on offense on defense, you'd have to play him. There would be no way. You would be a bad fucking coach if you didn't play him.
Can I say something? I want to give a shout out to Kawhi Leonard. Let me explain why. This is where Randall supposed to come in at. Let me explain why. What's the kid that got traded from San Antonio to Atlanta?
DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte Murray told a story. I think it was on All the Smoke podcast. Big shout out to all them guys. You know us. Our platform, we don't hate on nobody.
Yeah. Shout out to Stack. Shout out to Matt Barnes. Great show.
He said when the organization in Papa and them was playing games with him, he wasn't a coach favorite. He wasn't a fan favorite. They was playing games with his time, his playing time, everything. Of course, you young, a player could snap. He said Kawhi Leonard told him, don't worry about it. When you get on the floor, play defense. He said when you play defense, they got to keep you on the floor. Then you showcase your offense. But go make some first, second, third team all defense. Because now he got to. So my point is, with Obi, if you know you and the coach don't get along, make him get along with you. Don't give him the fire to fire you. No pun intended. If you know you're not a coach favorite, if you know you got to work on your game, work hard on your game. Make him put you on the floor. So that's just my point. I'm saying, Obi, when those leak out, whether you leaked it out or not, maybe he wanted to get out of there. I don't know. You can't talk to your coach like that when you're the 8th man in rotation. I'm sorry. You just can't. You just can't.
Yeah, he's not good enough. He's not good enough to. Right. He doesn't have enough equity, enough cachet. He don't got that to be chatting like that.
Y'all professionals making millions of dollars. If you know my coach is a defensive coach, when he put me on the floor, my defense is suspect. So you know what you do? Work hard on defense. What Kawhi Leonard did is what Randall's supposed to do to the younger guys. So I'm just saying, I don't mean to rant on, but
No, that's the point. No, that's part of why we didn't. But that was our conflict with Randall and Obi anyway. Like, so I'd rather have Obi do whatever the hell he wants to do on the court, because Randall is not doing what he wants to do as a leader. You on podcast talking about what? What are you talking about? No haircut, great for you, bro. Why didn't you coach these?
He just had surgery. He can't do shit else.
Which is another reason why Obi should have been starting. Why I understand why he's beefing about it, but that's like you allow again. I don't like that Thibodeau does give Julius Randle this leash because they do treat him like he's Patrick Ewing in the night, like Pat Riley did with Patrick Ewing, and even Obi and them they still didn't like that. They didn't like that because they felt like Ewing wasn't pulling his own weight.
But Fabe, we got to be honest. That's anything in life. At the workplace, you had a job. If it's a person that's revered in certain type of ways, that happens. You got to remember the Knicks organization. When the last time we had a 2-time All-Star, 2-time All-Team? So they're gonna coddle you. That you got. Listen, if you're a bench player, you got to understand that's going to happen. You're not winning that battle.
I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that, Fleet. What I'm saying is that if that's the guy we're revering, that revering should be the utmost guy. He's the guy that's supposed to tell Obi, yo, go play defense. Don't worry about it. I know me and you play in the same position. Where's the other side of the leadership? Brunson too. You get some of this heat too as well. Obi shouldn't be spilling like that.
Yeah, I just, that just goes back to your best players are not always your leaders, right? Like Steph Curry's a great leader, but we don't hear much all the time. But we know who the vocal leader is over there, and Draymond is not the best player, right? So we could go down the list of vocal leaders. Udonis Haslem is the biggest mouth pause on Miami Heat's bench, right? But he ain't the best player, So I mean, it goes back to that. Just Kevin Durant is any team he goes on, he's probably the best player on the team, but he ain't the leader. You're not looking to KD to galvanize you. But I wanted to close with the whole Obi thing with this.
Yes.
You got another opportunity now, Obi. You have another opportunity. But I need to let you know something, Obi. You are going from Tom Thibodeau, who is one of the coaches that's still from a certain era, to now Rick Carlisle, who is still from a certain era, who is still going to demand that you play defense. I don't give a fuck what you do on the rim. You could pull the screws out the rim. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to play defense. That's just going to have to happen. And you will not play over certain guys if you don't play defense. They traded 2 second-round picks for you, brother. They ain't give up. Yeah. Come on. You're going to have to play defense.
Let me say this before we close that out and maybe close out the show in a few.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be fine over there because, for one, he has a point guard that's going to give him the ball as long as he run them lanes. And he's around a group of guys that I think is fun to play with. Like I said, I'm being honest. He had it out with R.J. Barrett, even though they passed that up. We can all see it's evident, it's hard to get along with Randall. And then your point guard is a guy that holds the ball a lot. So I think he's going to a team that has the total opposite. And I think Rick Carlisle is maybe a better coach than Tibbs from a player coach aspect. Mm-hmm. So I think he's going to flourish there. Now, I'm not a big Obi guy, right? Everybody know that I'm not. But I think right system, right group of guys, right coach, I think your game can flourish. I think he's going to be all right over there. I really do. And I think they're going to make a play in maybe that 8th seed. I really do.
If Obi was smart, OG, he would have sat and watched everything Aaron Gordon did in the NBA Finals. If you want to be effective now, Obi, in the NBA, be Aaron Gordon. Defend, be a mismatch against small forwards because you are 6'10", right? Fuck around on the rim, clean up the glass, all that kind of stuff, but invest in defending. Aaron Gordon invested in defending. Mike Malone can't take him off the floor.
Yeah.
Fabian, OG, can they? They can't take him off the floor. And then some games, he had a 27-point game in the NBA Finals.
We're going to see.
I think Obi should be watching a guy like that. How can I get my game to, be effective like Aaron Gordon? Aaron Gordon came in the league. What was he? A high flyer. They asked for him to do a lot in Orlando. What you got, OG?
But Flea, just real quick, I agree with what you're saying, but I just think Aaron Gordon is a bad comparison because when Aaron Gordon came in the league, he had a high ceiling, yes, and also remember, offensively, his skill, his remember at one time Orlando
his bag was deeper. His bag was deeper,
right? So I think if Obi,
I'm just saying who he is as a player now.
No, if Obi is smart, learn. Remember, you over there with Bruce Brown.
Okay.
Learned up under Bruce Brown. Effort, you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. So, but I think he's going to be all right. I'm not worried, to be honest. I think he went to a great spot, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And they got him for cheap. The 2 second rounders. The fact that Rick Carlisle is okay in that to me it's the Pacers, bro. The Donnie Walsh thing. We got a history with the Pacers too. Our rivalry is the Pacers, the Miami Heat with the Knicks. I'm a little scared about that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking about that.
You think they're gonna pay? Because Obi's gonna have to get paid.
Fab, y'all see what I put in my post yesterday? I said, yo, we just traded Obi to a team and just made them better, and we got to deal with them. They not no walk in the park.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
We competed. They compete every night. They got a good team.
Ben Matthews will be in the second season. Yeah, man. I like Toppin. I don't think what I saw last year. Like, there's a lot of teams that he's a bad matchup for. When he flies up and down the court, I'm not saying in the half course where he's struggling at, but like you guys already explained, he has to play the defense and everything. But he has to rebound more too. You can't be jumping that high, don't rebound. And that doesn't make any sense either. They're gonna need rebounding over on the Pacers, but Rick Carlisle and Tom Thibodeau, Rick Carlisle is a way better coach. That's not close. Everywhere he goes, there's a winning formula with him. Defense first. He always has a point guard, if I'm not mistaken, that runs the organization the way that they want to. I love Tyrese Halliburton. $50 million a year is kind of crazy for anybody, but he's the best pure point guard in the game. I've been saying that for over a year.
Can we close the show with 10 big contracts and we can just say too much or good enough? Please.
Who is so far is Tyrese Halliburton?
Too much.
It's a bonus.
Too much.
Who else signed? Because
you see what LaMelo Ball got?
I think that's the one to me. He's shown flashes.
Can I say this?
But Halliburton level?
Hold on. Can I say this? Big shout out to the GOAT, Lavar Ball.
Wow.
His youngest son just signed for $250 million. So for everybody that laughed at that black man, that said his sons wasn't that good, that said he was crazy, his youngest son got $250 million.
It's a fact.
That's who won the whole game. When we say who won the draft, who won the free agency, who won the contract thing, it was LaVar Ball, bro. That man got his youngest son $260 million.
Remember a few years ago when Lonzo was coming in, how much ridicule that dude took, how much shit he took. Now, he was everywhere. Don't get me wrong. We saw him everywhere, every day. But the goal was to get his sons, or at least help get his sons, to a place where they're playing in the NBA and making life-changing money. That's happened. Right?
He made his son a star.
That has happened.
Fabe, let this son win. We know the kid can play. Nobody's denying that. Am I high on him like everybody else? No. That's just me. I can be wrong, but no. But this man made his son a superstar on and off the court.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget that.
Superstar?
So, yes.
On his way.
Yes. Yeah.
On
Listen.
his way.
Hold on.
You guys be killing Zion, but okay.
Hey, Fabian, let me say this. Hold on. Let me say this. By the letter of the law, all-stars don't get 260. Superstars get 260.
What he did for his sons, He fell back or whatever it was. They laughed at the Triple B brand. This should be. I'm so glad you brought this up, AllBall. This should be brought up for everybody. As a father, how to be a real dude around your kids and not be ashamed of it. Yeah, that's how we talk. Hate to break it to y'all. Sorry, I get angry and I reprimand my kids that way. Don't get in my way, please. That's what we do. I don't talk to my kids like some. Nah, I don't follow that hotline. Nah, man. I'm raising kids. I'm raising them to be adults to deal with the real world. And not just the real world, what he prepared them for was the utmost kind of scrutiny. We don't see them involved in too much drama. I know one of them got, IG model pregnant or whatever it was, but he warned them about that.
But
all he could do was be a dad.
Right, but remember, jobs as fathers, whether it's to a daughter or a son, is get your kid to be alive to at least graduate high school. He's done his job. His kid is over 18. He's an adult now. Whatever you do now after you're an adult, listen, bro, I got you there.
I'm sorry, it's beyond that. He said fuck high school. I'm trying to tell you.
No.
LaMelo Ball bought the team that he played for in Australia.
But Faye, what I'm saying, no, you're right about that. But what I'm saying is, all right, forget the high school. I'm just saying, get your child up until the point where they're able to think for themselves.
No.
And them kids got tough skin. So like I said, I don't want to spend too much time on the guy. You can finish.
No, we do. We should. Because what everything you're saying is what we always hate about, no disrespect, about ourselves. We Black, Spanish, in this country. Or we look at all the other immigrants. If you want to, I don't get too deep, but it's certain Asian communities, Indian and Chinese. They come to this country and do their thing. Lavar Ball treated his kids the same way. No, you're not going to be a high school basketball player. No, not going to be fuck college. Fuck their college, because you can get hurt and lose all the money. Go to Australia, get paid, and when you come back and get the other money, you're going to buy the team you played for? He ain't even, listen, I was joking because you said superstar, right? And I laughed with you with the Zion thing. You didn't even call Zion a superstar. But the fact that he's on the cusp of that, he's ready for it at the end of the day. Maybe he's not ready for it, but he primed him for this position. We should be stressing this more. It's definitely going to be a short. We're going to make it a 5-minute video, whatever it is. Lavar Ball should get his props always for this. Always.
Yeah, he deserves a lot more love. And he took a step back, right? He stepped out of the spotlight to allow his sons to flourish and go to the next.
A Flea, you know why he stepped back? Because the job is done.
Done.
So, bro, listen, see.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you.
But Flea, I'm gonna let you go. Don't let people. Let's not miss that. Remember, when he wasn't stepping back, the job wasn't done.
Right.
The job is done. That's why. See, people. I don't want people to be thinking somebody got in his ear or he's scared. No. Now the job is done. He don't have to do none of that no more.
Right.
But go ahead, though, Flea. I just want to say that.
I'm sorry. I don't want to forget this. I'm sorry, Flea. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yo, the fact that he was willing to take all the bullets and maybe extra, like he took on way more than he had to, just to say, I'll be the shield for all this. Potentially, maybe we just jumping on his no disrespect, or pause.
No, that's
but the fact that he's taking.
That's what father's supposed to do.
He took all the bullets early on, and now look, because that kid is still a knuckle. I know that kid's a knucklehead, LaMelo. I know he is, but he's a little older now. He was injured. You're right. He backed off when he was supposed to back off, when they made it. When he officially said, yo, nah, my kids don't need me no more. Y'all got this now.
Him doing everything that he did a couple of years ago in terms of being in front of the camera, being in the spotlight, saying the off-the-wall things that some people thought was just like he's a bug out. His sons are not even that good. Remember that? That was the conversation. All three of them not even that good. They'll be around, but they're not that good. One of the sons is an all-star, has just signed a deal for $260 million. The other one is dealing with, some injuries that's tough.
But he signed for 80.
But he signed for 80, right? And so there's just this idea of he did a bad job or he did something wrong with his style, right? His style may have been unorthodox, but it got the job done, right? We got what we wanted out of the deal. He's the best player on on the Charlotte Hornets. And all he's gonna do is just keep going like this. You said superstar. You said superstar.
Yeah. Yes. Hey, listen, I'm gonna say this, and this is all I'm gonna say. Look at the Jedi mind trick he did, right? Just think of this, because we're all fathers up here. Look at the Jedi mind trick he did. He made it so uncomfortable for everybody purposely, right? That he had to say in his mind, I'm gonna do this so crazy to where everybody's gonna wanna pay my kids just to see if they fail. Let me say that again.
Jello got opportunities just to
listen. But listen, the Jedi mind trick is I'm gonna talk so crazy that they're gonna give my kids opportunities just so they could put it back in my face. That he ain't this good or he ain't this good. In the meanwhile, the checks is being cleared.
Mm-hmm.
So if the payoff is y'all slander me, but y'all give my son 260 just to see if I was right, the job is done, baby.
Done.
That's Kaiser Soze. What he said at the end? The greatest trick.
The devil level pull.
Yeah.
Not saying he's a devil. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the greatest trick is to do that. And then this is the payoff. Come on, man. That's GOAT shit, bro. Listen, that Jedi mind trick you'll never see happen again. Ever. Ever. He spoke about his son Lonzo so crazy that the Lakers took him over Jason Tatum.
Over Tatum.
And De'Aaron Fox.
And Fox.
And Fox outplayed them when they went head up in college.
In college, when they was playing against Kentucky. Hell
Took his youngest son, went on tour with him, went crazy about him, and he was the third pick and got 260. Lonzo Ball from AllBall. You the GOAT, my brother. That's a fact. That's who won the draft. That's who won NBA free agency. That's who won this thing we call life. And he a black father. Got to commend him, bro. Got to.
Timestamp that, Fabian. That's 216.40. We need that.
Oh yeah, we got that since 207. 207 till now. We're talking about the ball. Yeah. We can close out on that one because I didn't expect that one came up organically.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, but this is Dime Dropper should be on next week.
Yeah,
part of the Four Sportsmen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't know if you guys want to give any last words for today, for this week. You guys any thing you want to get off your chest real quick?
For me, just shout out Dom, shout out Fabe, shout out Fleet, my brothers from Another for Life. Happy 4th of July weekend to everybody. Like I said, I just want us to keep this every weekend, every Sunday, keep it going. I just enjoy and love talking to y'all brothers. I love y'all opinions. I love arguing, going back and forth, and I just love what we bring because it's all different. It's all organic. As y'all see, there's no laptops, there's no paperwork. This is just all off of sheer love. Y'all my brothers for life. I'm just looking forward to just linking up with y'all all the time. Happy 4th of July to everybody.
I love that. I love that, OG. All I got is everybody keep up with everything that we're doing. AllBall with Uncle Ice on Mondays, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Are We Live with Flea weekly. I'll keep y'all updated on that. Fabian PerspecTV. He is I keep saying it, and he don't want me to say it, but he's the brains behind a lot of this stuff, a lot of this technical stuff, a lot of how y'all see us on screen, a lot of how we do this timing, all of that, the 4 horsemen that y'all see right there, a lot of that. All of that is Max Strus. So shout out to Drake's evil cousin. Shout out Max Strus. Shout out John Starks. Everybody that in your you saw that John Starks reference. You like that one too. But yeah, yo, I appreciate y'all for real, man. This is like OG said, this is all love and all organic. So let's keep this going.
Max Truth is very racist. I love doing this with y'all. No matter what my mood is, like we always say, it's therapy. Usually we're gonna start back up. We gotta do it midday, starting tomorrow. Get back in the mix where everybody just jumping in live, AllBallTV reaction. Midday, it's gonna be live. Everybody jumps in the mix. And just Four Sportsmen, like we said, every Sunday, 8 o'clock, as Flea eloquently put it. I gotta get a time for Friendly Fire. I don't know if we're just gonna do that randomly. But of course, you can check.
And Friendly Fire. That's love. We love that.
I got 2 things I'm setting up, but it's tough. And of course, catch AllBall IG Live. Dime Dropper, he got a couple of things for this summer. He's putting up some highlights from the 70s and 60s. You know how he does. And everybody shout out to beloved Nick Pillow being in the comments today. Yo, we're gonna see you soon, Turbo. You jump back in the mix. And of course, Daniel Berry always jumps in the mix and just pops out, but he always shows love.
That's Bossman, no?
No, not Danny Berry. No, that's Travis Berry.
Yeah, that's Bossman. That's Bossman.
No, Danny Berry Sports Highlights. He got 1,000 followers on YouTube. Bossman got 1,000 followers on YouTube. This guy's going. But I appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate you guys tuning in. The Four Sportsmen, to be continued. Love y'all. That'll end the broadcast.
Out of here. Peace.
Yes.